Are you
different flavor?
Are you getting the scoop on Zeke out there?
Yeah, that's why I'm here. It's I'm glad you mentioned that. So I guess we should. Gosh, I mean, we always try to let people behind the curtain. I am now moonlighting as a Dallas Cowboys beat reporter.
Matt Engel is gonna beat your ass.
I am chasing down this story as it is breaking, gentlemen. And boy, oh boy, is it getting contentious. No, I mean, we will definitely get to the Zeke and the Dallas Cowboys, because that is an interesting little tasty NFL nugget for us to nosh on here.
They may end up signing a 1-year deal. Can you imagine?
Let's be honest with each other. That would be magic.
Only if he's playing center.
yeah. And I think he will, because actually the offensive line, they're going to tweak things this offseason. So that's a big deal for Zeke, who's now 330 pounds.
Yeah.
It's packed on some pounds. But yeah, so we're visiting family in Dallas. So if the show sounds a little bit different, it'll be explained away, because we're all in different rooms today for the first time in a long time. We got TD in our normal studio. We got Fletch in the production studio. I'm in a spare bedroom in the Metroplex, the Dallas Metroplex area. And so we're coming to you live on StreamYard, or I should say on X or on YouTube. We look completely normal. I mean, outside of just the ceiling fan spinning in the background of my view, but other than that, we're doing it. Unfortunately, gentlemen, the Padres, they're not doing it. They fall to 3-4 on the season, and even though there were some positive storylines, and we will always get to the positives with the Padres, they kind of, I don't want to say it. They've played 7 games, and 2 of them were in South Korea.
Yeah.
But they kind of, a little bit, they
suck.
No, stop. I didn't say it. You shouldn't have. It's too early to say.
The season's over. It's over. It's over.
Is it over?
Am I overreacting?
We're on the bottom of the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Here.
Well, no.
This is where we're supposed to be.
Here's where I have an issue. Okay.
Go ahead.
This is supposed to be new year, new us, right? Everything was supposed to be fixed. And then you have highs like you had on Sunday where you go, hang on, this is a team that can throw some runs up on the board. This is a team that can make some magic happen. Look, I mean, they were hitting from top to bottom in the lineup. This is fantastic. Maybe we have turned a corner. And then here we go again on a Monday loss where they just look completely lackluster. There was no pop in the offense other than Jackson Farrell Merrill, who had a couple hits. And then Nando had a solo home run in the 6th. I think that's when it was. But this is very reminiscent of last season. So what we were supposed to leave behind feels like we've just continued where we left off. So they're not stringing together multiple wins in a row, other than they got that the second game win in Seoul, South Korea. Technically, the opening day win would be 2 in a row, but there was some other games in between there that were losses, exhibition games. But whatever. They're not stringing together multiple wins in a row, just like last year. Just like last year, they'll have a fantastic game where they throw out all kinds of offense, and then, boom,
here's
one
the
step
pause,
forward,
time
2
out.
steps
First
back.
one of the day. Pause, time out.
Whoa, we're using one early.
Well, Rich wasn't here yesterday, so he might have missed this stat. I don't know if you saw it in Kevin's article, Rich, but Kevin talked about the fact that last year it took them 28 games to get a single 4-run inning, and it took them 58 games or 52 games, something like that, to get a 5-run inning. And they've already had 3 of each of those this year. So that's the part of the Padres team this year that makes me okay with a game like last night where nothing was really working. They were up against some good pitching. They still got like Jackson Merrill's first home run, which is kind of fun. Fernando Tatis Jr. hit an absolute bomb, which when he hits a home run, it just feels different from everyone else. Don't know why.
It's electric. Yeah.
But there's something to this team where I'm seeing early trends that make me feel a little bit better than last year. But then you see a game like yesterday that felt a lot like a lot of games last year where it's like, oh, they get 2 big home runs and nothing else. So I don't know where to be with this Padres team. Right now, I'm fine being at the bottom of the roller coaster. We'll see tomorrow. When they put up 14 runs tonight, I'll feel great.
Let me just interject here. It is game 7.
Yes.
I mean, there's 155 more of these things as we get way over our skis here. But That's what happens when you have PTSD.
Well, yeah. That's the point. Being a Padres fan, you're on that roller coaster every single year. There's no consistency to it. There's no feeling of, okay, yeah, we know where rock bottom is, like, and we can stand firm on the fact that, I don't know, whatever it is, after a 2-game or a 3-game or a 4-game skid, like, the Padres will figure it out. They always do. And the truth is, we don't necessarily have that rock bottom to stand on, because time and time again, in the wrong direction, they surprise us. Just when you don't think the season could get any worse last year, they go and make it worse somehow, right?
Well, and then at the end of the year, they get a little bit better and they make you feel okay going into the offseason. It just sucks, man.
Yeah, it's hard being a Padres fan. I'll give you a stat, because you pointed to a good stat, right? The fact that the hitting is up this season so far. However, the pitching has left something to be desired. So also in the AC article from yesterday, he pointed out that they're getting less than 4 1/3 innings from their starters, which is third fewest in Major League Baseball. So when you think about what that means over the course of a season with a bullpen that they're going to need to rely on a lot, because right now they only have 3 starters that you could really count on, I would say. And then they have King and they have Waldron, who got roughed up yesterday. You look at their rotation and say, well, you really need those arms to go deeper if you're going to have any success this season. And look, early returns say that's not going to be the case. We've also gone through the rotation only once so far this season. So we throw a lot of stats at people earlier in the season, and none of them really matter, because this is a game of averages. And so whether they have hot bats or they have tired arms, coming out of the spring, whatever it may be, it doesn't really matter, because this is such a long season. However, our feelings, or Padres fans' feelings, those do matter, because during a season where they've lifted season ticket prices by 20%, where nothing's easy in terms of viewing the Padres on television, because the rights agreement ended with Diamond Sports Media Group, and we all know that story, and it's made all of that infinitely more difficult. You need to have a good year after a down year. So 70470, start your message with team if you want to text the show, or you can reach out at us on any of our social media, Big Rich TD Fletch, or even comment in the YouTube stream. You could hit us on the talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. That's the little microphone button. You can click and leave us a voicemail. I want to hear what Padres fans are thinking early this season. Does it feel like last season all over again, or are you still hopeful that this culture has shifted enough?
We want you to hear this as well. There's just something a little bit different when Nando steps up to the plate and gives us one of these.
I hate national broadcasts. Don Orsillo is so much better.
Well, he wasn't quite as excited as we all were.
It's gonna go.
Yeah.
Cool,
it's
dude.
gonna go.
Yeah.
It's gonna go.
Well, and the other thing that sucks is, like, Jackson Merrill's first career home run, Don Orsillo's not on the call for it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the stuff. And maybe it's just me being kind of a nerd for, like, broadcasting stuff, but that does kind of suck. Like, Jackson Merrill would remember that forever, and he still is going to. But if Don Orsillo was on the call, it would have been a little more special.
Hey, do you guys think
you sound like a fan? Like, TD, I mean, you could back me up here. Like, when you watch enough of these games, like, that what you're feeling, Fletch, is what a lot of people are feeling who watch the Padres as much as we do, or even less. I mean, you like it your way, and the Don Orsillo way feels right. It feels very San Diego these days.
No, absolutely, and I mean, it does feel like it's missing something when you're watching that, but it doesn't feel like it's missing something with the sound of that crack of the bat.
Dude, Fernando's special. And the way it, like, left his bat and he just kind of turned around and dropped his bat and sort of just took 1, 2, 3 little steps and then made his way around. He's just cool.
The one thing it was missing, though, were runners on base.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Would have helped.
There was that little thing. It would help if every once in a while one of these big swings would come with a couple of base runners. They call those ribbies, and we like to we like ribs on this show.
McRibs.
We love to make ribs.
I think there was only one hit last night with someone in scoring position for the Padres, which when you give up 6, probably not going to work unless you're just hitting solo shots constantly.
That's a little more like last year. The biggest problem with this team last year was hits with runners in scoring position. And so far through this year, the average has actually been pretty good. I can't remember the exact number. I saw it yesterday, but last night it was another issue. I mean, when you only get like 3 guys on base because 2 of the 5 hits were home runs, it's tough to do anything with that.
Yeah, without a doubt. And even leaving people on base, I brought this up yesterday. There was a lot of people left on in Sunday's game, but there was a lot of people put on in Sunday's game. So if you're looking at a percentage, that percentage might be lower, but if you have 18 people on in scoring position, I mean, and I think they brought in 7 of 18 on Sunday. So it's, come on. I mean, it's hard to complain against that number.
Yeah, look, it's going to be a long season unless the Padres find a way to start. Well, look, stacking up wins is ultimately the only thing that matters. But if they just need consistency in the rotation, consistency with the lineup. It just feels rudely inconsistent. Like you said, and I think it's perfectly stated, you come out of this series against the Giants where they absolutely pummel them in the final game. They head into this series against the Cardinals, and you're like, which team are you? Like, why is this so confusing to watch this baseball team? We don't understand. But there were other highlights. Obviously, Jackson Merrill going yard for his first Major League Baseball home run. You have the dugout giving him the silent treatment. But do we have the sound, Fletch? Can we play this one?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to it. Here's Jackson Farrell Merrill going yard for the first time.
Like how they thought, what we should do is an interview while Jackson Merrill's up because he's not going to do anything. Yeah.
About your feelings, Jackson Farrell Merrill is going to ruin your interview.
Is it too early to start like a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe for the Merrill mural?
The Merrill mural.
Dude, I bet you it's going up soon. Like we don't even have to do anything.
No,
someone will just paint it.
If there's one thing that is true about San Diego is we are quick to paint a mural. We will get one up in a hurry.
Listen, we got empty walls everywhere.
Yeah. If you go to the Embarcadero, we are going to put your face on a wall somewhere. I love it.
Well, we played a couple of highlights for the Padres, and Jackson Merrill hit a home run. That was cool. Fernando Tatis also did, but they lose 6-2. Matt Waldron gets banged up in his first start with the team. Rotation flipping over, so Yu Darvish on the mound tonight. Yu Darvish has been the best Padres pitcher so far. Joe Musgrove will be after him, who has struggled quite a bit so far. Sticking with Major League Baseball.
You guys say these things, and it sounds so much nicer. I mean, really, he sucked.
He got banged up.
Oh my God.
You can say
he
that
got dinged up a little bit.
Yeah.
There's always tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's weird with knuckleballers because you'll see games where literally no one can touch them. And then there's games like last night where it's just not moving quite enough. And so in the first inning, he gave up, 3 runs in the first?
3 runs in the first, and then another in was it the second or third? I don't know.
Yeah, it was just
it
done.
didn't matter. 3 in the first. Padres couldn't overcome the deficit.
Right. Sticking with baseball, did you guys see this yesterday? Renel Blanco throwing his 2024's first no-hitter yesterday. So Renel Blanco is 30 years old. This is his 8th start in his Major League Baseball career. He wouldn't even be in camp if not for an injury to Justin Verlander, and he's there with the team. 8th career start, just had a baby 7 days ago, goes out there and throws a no-hitter. That's when sports kind of gets you in the feels.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
First,
that is awesome.
is that the first male to actually give birth?
I don't think it was him.
Oh.
Yeah.
He didn't. He welcomed the child like with his wife.
Right.
And or girlfriend.
Because I don't know how that works anyway.
God, this is an early lap for TD.
Way more complicated when we think of it. Yeah,
this is the first segment. Get the hell out. You owed some yesterday, too. I didn't make you go on any of them because
This
Like,
would be an
it was
empty studio.
just us.
right.
That's,
but
that's
now-
why I use
now
that
you're
to my advantage.
You're making up time, Buster. There he goes. Look at him. There he is. Yeah, leaving the city. I'll tell you what. I did miss that. I had this overwhelming urge yesterday during the day off to send somebody for a lap when I was sitting down at the dinner table. Like, bad jokes, your knee-jerk reaction is like, all right, that's it. One time around the neighborhood.
Yeah,
Get
have you
outta here right
figured
now.
that out with your kids yet as like a punishment for when they say something stupid or they like talk back to Annie? Or have you just started pointing?
You know what's so funny is, yeah, I did with the kids, and like Ty, our oldest, he's 8 years old. He knows at this point exactly what the point means. Like, so I'll walk into the room sometimes and he'll be, on top of his brother, just pounding away. I'll be like, buddy. And I'll just point to his room and he'll be like, I know what I did and I know where I have to go. I'm sorry, Bash. And meanwhile, Bash is just like, his shirt collar is torn. He looks like his hair is all frazzled. There's a broken like iPad or tablet computer underneath him. He's like, what year is it? I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't get to your rescue soon enough. But anyways,
But Ty
yeah,
looks back on his way to his room and is like, yeah, that was worth it. Yeah.
Every time he gives me the same look that TD gives us after landing a successful dad.
I mean, the good news is like older brothers are supposed to beat up younger brothers.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
That's how you
cool.
get tough.
It's cool.
I'm
I
pretty
remember
sure.
I remember sitting in the living room one day. Actually, I was standing in the living room on a summer day. I was probably 10. My brother's 16. All of a sudden, bang! Shot right in the butt with a pellet gun. Ooh,
Yeah,
it's a good day.
Tell you what, that's how that toughened you up for this moment right now. Yeah, you take no guff from no one.
My
Except
brother
for us
almost
when we ask you to take a lap.
broke my neck one time. You ever play with those sock and bombs, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
inflatable
Yeah.
boxing gloves? He punched me one time so hard that I flew across the room down into a crack between like the couch and the bed that was in like our back suite at my parents' house.
Yeah.
And I had to be unconscious because I was like 5 years old, but he runs out and says, Mom, I killed Ben.
I got a scar here on the back of my head from when my brother threw me across the room, hit my head on the lazy boy chair, cracked her open.
Oh, yeah, we were playing forts in our basement. We had a big couch in the basement, and we had one of those convertible couches that turns into a queen size bed or whatever. And I guess I ran and invaded my brother's fort with too much vigor and viciousness because my sofa cushion shield knocked into his sofa cushion shield and sent him flying into the mechanism on the side, like all that metal, bent metal, and it split his forehead open. He turns around, his face is covered in blood, and he's screaming like he's Mel Gibson from Braveheart. And I'm just like, no, buddy, the game is over. The game is over, and you might be dead. We're in big trouble. I remember holding his head and telling everybody upstairs, I can't believe it, Nikki fell again.
Dude, I was at Costco over the weekend, and they had like a fort kit, and it was basically small couch cushions. That's all they were. And I thought, I'm like, I should buy this for Rich's kids. And then I thought, Annie would think I'm so weird.
It's already a World War II or III, I guess, in our house on a daily basis. If we start giving them weapons and then munitions and places to build camp, I mean, it's going to be even worse.
I would get those sock and bop like boxing
Wait, you
gloves.
just said that you almost broke your neck.
And it's a great story. My brother told it at the wedding. It was awesome. Let's hear the end of Ronel Blanco's no-hitter. So he had a couple people on base, actually, by the end of this game because he walked a couple people in the ninth. And everyone kind of was getting shaky about it. You could hear it with the broadcasters, but special moments are special in sports, and this is what it sounds like.
No, it's all about heart rate right here. Yes, you can understand and embrace the moment, but at the same time, you've got to laser focus in like he has.
Ground ball. Dubon throws to first. No hitter. Ronel Blanco in his 8th career start. The 30-year-old makes magic on April Fool's Day.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. I tell you what, though, I mean, it's your 8th start ever. Maybe you peaked too early, man. They're going to expect a lot.
It's been a
Yeah.
long road for this guy. He's 30, so he's like been around for a while, but he didn't make any major league camps until he was 28. And then I said it earlier, but this time, if Justin Verlander hadn't started the year on IR, or whatever they call IL in baseball, he wouldn't even be with the Astros right now. Like, he was there because of necessity, and he was the 5th starter on what should have been a 5-man rotation that didn't include him. And so it's just, sports can offer these moments like no other thing can. I love it.
Yeah, it's especially in baseball, for whatever reason. I think it's because it's so hard, right? Bat against ball, pitcher, hitter. It's such a miserably lonely existence when you're on a mound and you're by yourself out there. And then if you're having success or failure for that matter, it gets infinitely more lonely. Like, if you've already given up 4 runs and it's like, I don't know, at 1 out into the first inning, and you're just looking at the dugout like, hey, Skip, could you bail me out of this one? But the manager's like, no, I don't want to, because then we're going to tire it out all these bullpen arms. And you're just like, yeah, but I don't got it. Like, you're having this eye contact conversation with your manager. Or if it's, I don't know, the top of the 9th and you got to come out onto the mound and you've got to finish a perfect game. I mean, all of these things are outrageous. It just, it gives you all the feels. So good for Blanco. That's awesome.
Yeah, man, baseball does have some of these moments where they're hard to replicate in other places. And a no-hitter is one of them. That sound of the back crack, which is on the best bracket ever here, which we probably need to get an update of where we're at. Yeah. Probably didn't do that.
We're going to need Fletch's expert analysis.
Yeah, especially because this is the last day that he'll have both legs.
It'd be funny if I did some sort of selfie video from the hospital bed after my surgery on anesthesia, breaking down the best bracket ever.
Then
Actually,
we should wait.
Okay, hang on. Maybe we should do the Elite 8 today, and then we'll get to the Final 4. Yeah, this way it's less teams, although maybe we want more teams while he's all high on drugs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, I got the breakdown yesterday of like everything they're going to be doing to me tomorrow. And the amount of injections he was talking about, like, I lost count, but there's going to be injections in my thigh because that's where they're going to place the tourniquet, and they want to make sure there's blood flow to everything above the point where they're placing the tourniquet. Then they're placing like 3 injections in my actual ankle before they get going, so that right afterwards I won't start screaming from pain when I wake up. And then obviously, like, there's going to be stuff going into my IV the whole time. I'm going to be on 20 different drugs tomorrow.
Sweet.
Yeah, yes, you will. This is going to be fantastic. In fact, we're going to need you to call in when you're on half of those, and then maybe after you finish the other half.
Also, is no one else? They're putting a tourniquet on me.
No, it's
Wow,
gonna be great.
that's fine. That's all right.
Yeah, they did that in the Civil War.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah.
worked out for most of those guys.
They make you bite on a stick.
The surgeon also said, he's like, this is California law, so I have to say this. And then he got real quiet and said, there is a possibility of death with these procedures.
Wow.
It's like, what? Say that louder.
It's gonna be weird if you die tomorrow
I
while
know,
in
dude.
surgery. Fletch died, and he's 8 months away from being a dad.
That's
I
not
just
true.
picture
Yeah.
the surgeon with long mutton chops. He goes, my name is William Miles Keller III. I will be your doctor. I also was a doctor in the Confederate Army, son. Just like, I'm going to give you a hickory strap, and this is going to be what you're going to chew on during the procedure. We call this anesthesia. It's very new. It's ether. You just breathe deeply into this rag.
Take a shot of whiskey. And breathe deeply into the rag, and then they have 4 to 7 minutes to saw your leg off.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
If I do die, by the way, please clip this and put it out on social media. And then at the end, just have like, in memorandum of Ben Fletcher. We called him Stubbs towards the end.
The picture will just be a scooter out in a field, turned over from an acorn.
Yeah, instead of like a rifle leaning up against a gravestone, it's just his scooter. It's just his scooter, and then all of a sudden we just have an oak tree. It's like, and that oak tree was birthed of the acorn that killed him. That's how it happened. All right, listen, we have a ton to get to today. Your texts are welcome, 70470. Actually, start your message with team, and this is what we want to hear. Maybe give your best wishes to Fletch on his way into surgery.
Or my eulogy.
Or your,
Whatever your heart says.
That's what we want to hear from you. And then coming up next, how about this? Zeke does Dallas part 2.
We got boots on the
Oh,
ground.
And I am covering the whole thing live from Texas. So we'll get to that as well. But first, I want to talk to everybody about the San Diego Giving Back Raffle. It's a great way to give back to an important community resource while getting a chance to win one of thousands of prizes. So you can support our Ronald McDonald House, and you could win a multi-million-dollar historic home right across the street from magnificent Balboa Park in San Diego. Give back and you can gain even more. It's a true win-win for you, your family, and for an organization and all the families that the Ronald McDonald House serves. So 2024 marks the 20th anniversary of the San Diego Giving Back Raffle. All the benefits go to Ronald McDonald House and Charities of San Diego. This year's edition features more than 2,000 great prizes, including 20 vacations, 20 vehicle options, 20 days of 20,000 prizes this summer, leading up to a guaranteed win of a grand prize drawing. The raffle fundraisers help throughout San Diego build homes in return for the San Diego. Ronald McDonald has awarded more than $30 million in prizes to participants just for choosing to give back. Tickets start at $150 each. So if you're looking to give back a little bit and gain a lot in return, go ahead and get involved in the Giving Back Raffle. Again, a great way to support an important community. Okay, are they dating again? Are they Facebook official? What's going on? We have the update from Big D next.
This update is presented by Discover. Starting off with the Padres, they dropped one of the cards last night, 6-2. Matt Waldron struggled in his first start with the team. Rotation flipping over, so Yu Darvish going to be on the bump tonight for the Pods with another matchup with the Cardinals. Sticking with Major League Baseball, Renel Blanco throwing 2024's first no-hitter yesterday in the Astros' 10-0 win over the Blue Jays. As humans, we like having options. One option you might like is speaking with a real person when you call about your credit card with 24/7 live U.S.-based customer service from Discover. Everyone can talk to a real person anytime, day or night. Limitations apply. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Yes, it is on a Taco Tuesday. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Have a pair of Social D tickets to give away today. North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. They'll be there April 12th. Special guest, Bad Religion. Tickets and info, Ticketmaster.com. We'll also have a $50 gift card to Islands, where you can hear all the royalty-free Spanish music.
I feel like this is a little Tex-Mex is what I'm going for, since Rich is in Texas.
Yeah, hey, listen to that noise in the background. Yeah, you know what it sounds like? It's a McDonald's straw.
It does.
Yeah.
Like the like everybody knows that sound. Everybody knows that sound because that is the sound you make in the backseat right before you get a backhand to the forehead.
Absolutely. When you think you're a fiddle player back there.
I told you to stop that.
Yeah.
For the
Charlie
11th time.
Daniels in the back seat after hitting up the McDonald's drive-thru with your straw.
I told him my straw was hot. I was in the bar. I was pressed for time. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, we've got a lot going on here today. Well, and I say here, I mean specifically Dallas, guys. I am now embedded in this metroplex, this giant city that is home to the Dallas Cowboys. And so I feel like an insider. Like I feel closer to this story just geographically in general. but also Frisco, the Star, where the Cowboys practice. It's only a quick 45-minute drive from where I'm sitting right now.
Good.
So I feel like I should give you guys like the full update on Zeke Elliott and where the Dallas Cowboys are right now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you got tipped off here because you said you were heading out to Dallas, and we all went, well, that's weird. Wonder why. And then now here we are, your first day on the air out in Dallas, and this is the news that breaks.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm sorry. I guess I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner, but yeah, apparently Zeke Elliott and Jerry Jones, they got back on the phone, and it probably sounded something like, "Hey Jerry, yeah, I'm still free agent, and I miss Dallas." And he probably said something like, "Yeah, we miss you too, Zeke. We're really thinking about you a lot, and we want you to play a little center for the Dallas Cowboys if you're interested."
Also, we're doing Return of the Jedi night, and feel like we need you here. We need our little Ewok back.
I think there is one important question when it comes to Zeke rejoining the Dallas Cowboys. Why?
Well,
he's not very good anymore.
Something tells me options are limited.
No, I get that, but why not from Zeke's perspective? Like, that makes a lot of sense. He should go back to Dallas if it's him, but why is Dallas interested in bringing Zeke Elliott back?
That's a good question. I think, okay, so first and foremost, last year wasn't a terrible year for Zeke. When Ramondre Stevenson went down at the end of the season for the Patriots, he had a couple of games there where he was serviceable. I mean, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't like he was having a career year with the Patriots, but it wasn't bad. You know what I mean? You look at some of those late December games, some of those early January games, it wasn't bad. When I think about Zeke and what he can help the Dallas Cowboys with in what's potentially the final year for Mike McCarthy, potentially the final year for Dak Prescott in Dallas, maybe they're trying to reignite that culture. Maybe Dak, needs Zeke as a security blanket a little bit. Maybe there's some of that going on. Like, maybe this is a value add, not necessarily for what he's going to bring to the playing field, but what he brings to the locker room. I don't know. Sometimes teams make decisions like that too.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like he can't do it. He was the team leader in rushing yards out there in New England, not playing a full season. So he still put up 642 yards. Like you said, not a career year.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good for
a backup running back.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're a backup running back with 640 yards. That's pretty good.
I just feel like
some of those games also, like, you have to admit, like, he looked, not all of them, and the Patriots stunk last year. I know. But some of those games, he looked like old Zeke. A lot of them, he looked like new Zeke, which isn't exactly. He looks more like a McDonald's straw fiddle player than he does a running back. but
when you look
some
at
of those games, he
was averaging 3.5 yards per carry. If they only used Zeke, they would have had first down after first down.
I get all that, but when you look at like some of the worst contracts signed in NFL history, like Zeke's contract with the Cowboys might be one of them because of how much it was and for what they got out of him since then. Like, before he signed that contract, he was incredible. He led the NFL in rushing like every single year. Then after he signed it, he maybe had one good year while he was on that contract, and then a couple years of suck where Tony Pollard was actually better. But when you look at Zeke now, I'm curious what he can offer that like a 5th round draft pick can't. And I don't think there's that much of a difference.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is going to be a very cheap contract in the grand scheme of things. Like, I know we look at, and as we should, anybody should outside the NFL, like a $1.2 million contract, and we say like, oh my gosh, that's life-changing money. But in the NFL, for Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, if you're paying Zeke Elliott $1.2 million, that's basically money you're willing to set on fire just to see what it looks like. And I'm guessing my point is, if you sign him and nothing good comes of it, right? He gets injured or he's too old and you have a better backup that you find in the draft, well, fine. But if you realize like, oh, signing Zeke helped our running back room because having his veteran presence in the room, coaching the younger players how to see what he saw as a young running back. Because let's admit it, when Zeke came out of Ohio State to the Dallas Cowboys, there was almost nobody better at what he was doing than Zeke.
He was a beast.
It's just he got old fast in this league. That's all.
Yeah, well, that's what happens though when you're used. I mean, they leaned on him. They had to rely on him, and well, I mean, not every. I don't know. Maybe I spoke out of turn on that one, but he did. He got hit every single down. He got hit every single play. So yeah, he got old fast.
Yeah. All right. What does a rap mogul and a starting quarterback have in common? Well, apparently not a lot anymore. We'll explain what we're talking about there. But before we do, I want to talk to everybody about all this weight that I lost. And somebody added a picture to the rundown of somebody who could use a reduction as well. It's just in a very different way. But I don't want to stray from the path. I want to stick to the facts here.
I don't know who added that.
Holy crap!
We all together, we lost a tremendous amount of weight. Okay. It was me. I was looking at the scale. I was almost at my old playing weight. TD, he got on the scale for the first time in 20 years. He was shocked.
I vomited.
He was shocked.
I vomited.
he vomited in studio. It was awful.
Fletch has got his shirt up all the way to his neck now. He's showing off the
go.
golden brown skin and the very, very trim figure.
Yeah, dark nipples. I like it. Yeah, but Fletch, he really, I mean, he got back from a vacation and he couldn't believe what he saw. And neither could we, frankly. He was so tan, but so fat. It was very jarring for everybody involved. And then we met Wayne and Chloe, our weight loss team, with sdfatloss.com, and they got us right. If anybody out there listening to this broadcast walks away with one thing to like the take home point, is write down sdfatloss.com and go to that website, because it's life changing. I do mean that. We goof around about this a lot, but this has changed our life. I lost over 35 pounds. TD lost over 30, and Fletch has lost damn near 50 pounds, and he's still losing. I mean, shoot, they're about to saw his leg off. So give that another 10 or 15 pounds right there. I joke. But yeah, we're
it's
doing
probably
it the
only like an
natural way.
8-pound foot.
I think the foot's only 8 pounds. Yeah, it's a heavy foot.
Yeah, well, it's much thinner now than it was. I mean, because it's been wrapped in a cat. Yeah, that foot's lost so much weight. It's probably like an 8-pound foot. So it'll probably lose about 8 pounds by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're proud of him.
Yeah, that's thanks to SD Fat Loss.
He's doing it the natural way. But at sdfatloss.com, you'll meet with your weight loss coaches, Wayne and Chloe. And what they'll do is they'll give you a program where you're going to lose the weight, and then they transition to a program that helps you maintain your new weight, which is incredible. A lot of plans, they stop with the weight loss, and then you gain it all back. With sdfatloss.com, they not only show you how to drop the LBs, they also show you how to keep them off. And that is the secret to their success. And for thousands and thousands of their clients, including some of our listeners who've reached out to us and shared their results with us as well. Again, if you're interested in losing weight the right way without gaining it all back, that's called yo-yo dieting, not good for your heart, not good for your life, then go to sdfatloss.com. That's sdfatloss.com. Coming up, P. Diddy, Patrick Mahomes. What's the connection? We'll explain next.
Yeah, last night was a big night. Our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Awards was a historic night of music, and you can stream the whole event now on Hulu.
So P. Diddy is going through it right now. We're not 100% sure on all the facts, but if you've been paying attention at all to the rap mogul, what's going on in his life, his house in both Miami, or I should say houses, and Los Angeles were raided by Homeland Security. So there's that.
Yeah, and the story keeps getting a little weirder, by the way. There's journalists now saying that they're going to stop covering this because it's getting too dangerous.
Yeah,
What?
there are allegations of sex trafficking, soliciting, and distributing of illegal narcotics as well as firearms. So whatever P. Diddy was involved in, alongside of also producing and participating on multiple like platinum records, it was obviously nefarious. However, he's had a lot of fans over time, and Patrick Mahomes was one of them. And so amid all of this strange news that's been pouring out of the P. Diddy side of this thing, also there have been like resurfaced tweets. So recently somebody like went back through Patrick Mahomes' tweet history, and I guess when he was a freshman in 2014 at Texas Tech, he wrote a tweet that just said, "Yeah, P. Diddy," because he was performing live at the All-Star game. And so the NBA All-Star game, I mean, it featured a couple of different performers, but maybe he was a P. Diddy fan. And so people started circulating this tweet like it was a recent tweet. Like Patrick Mahomes, he's a 3-time Super Bowl MVP and Super Bowl champ, but he also really loves sex traffickers. So that's the reason.
Yeah.
Of course he
as,
is.
as one would.
This goes along with my biggest takeaway from the whole P. Diddy thing, which it sounds like he's a pretty terrible person, and I hope all the justice he deserves is coming to him. But I can't tell in 2024 whether something is a news or a joke, and there's a lot of both on this whole thing, and I have no idea what's what. Like, I saw some things the other day about P. Diddy, And I thought it was pretty funny. Turns out it's a joke. And then now I see news and it's really scary. And turns out it's news, but I don't know which is which sometimes.
I'm going to say something that I never thought I would actually say ever. But if you're looking for news in this vein, one of the most reliable sources is TMZ. Like if you're looking for
that's
celebrity
accurate.
gossip news, like that's where you go. I mean, because TD, I mean, they don't miss. They never miss.
Yeah, and they break it early. I mean, break stories early, and their track record is so good, it's shocking. But you are correct. TMZ does somehow have the real news.
But I think the problem is a lot of people are like me and they just scroll through Twitter and they see something, and sometimes I just take it as a fact. And especially like yesterday, I got hosed 12 times because it was April Fool's Day. I thought Greg Papa was going to the Rams to be their broadcaster because he played a prank on the Niners GM. It was just all a mess. And like Twitter was a cesspool of terribleness yesterday. And I found myself not knowing whether to laugh or to be astonished.
I would say mostly be astonished of this one. This one sounds like it's not going to go well. The thing that I am very, very shocked about here is the fact that P. Diddy is not in custody. And I just feel like if there were this many allegations, if there was this much information about any one of us here on the show, we would be down at the police department right now.
Didn't he escape to some island somewhere?
Well, I think he's back. I think he's back now. But yeah, they followed his plane, the in number on the plane to some island, which I don't know what island that was, but I guess he's back now. There's pictures of him by TMZ that posted he's on the phone looking concerned. I think that was actually the headline.
This was from the Mirror UK. P. Diddy returns to Star Island Mansion in Miami after Homeland Security trafficking raids. So listen, the guy, if you're a Diddy fan, he's back home safe in Miami. If you're not a Diddy fan, we understand why. Like, there's been some things.
Well, and it's one of those things where like allegations are one thing and you go, wow, there's no way that actually happened, but let's wait and see. Now there's so many allegations that you go, I think I'm just going to not probably follow P. Diddy anymore.
Now, how did we just find out about all this? If it's been going on for decades.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm telling you, the pandemic was the great reset, and now the world's been turned upside down. And like, I mean, if you don't like the news, if you think it's like, oh, this isn't for me, just wait about 24 hours because something else will break. Like coming up next, I'm pretty sure we're going to break the story about the Teletubbies. Turns out they were drug mules for the cartel. So we'll get to that in the 7 o'clock hour. Also,
see, news or joke? I have no idea. Like that could honestly be a real headline in 2024
because the Teletubbies were nuts. I mean, nuts.
Especially Poe, you couldn't trust him.
No, dude, they had TV screens in their stomachs.
Yeah,
were those hollow back TVs? Because maybe they were smuggling something inside of it.
Yeah, a lot of cocaine, lot of Colombian Bam Bam was in the Teletubbies' bellies. All right, coming up next, we'll get back to the Padres if we can. Also, we have our morning monologues. Also, it's a Taco Tuesday, so we'll get to that as well. But before we get to anything else, I want to talk to everybody about my feet. If you experience any lower body joint pain whatsoever, stop what you're doing right now and look up goodfeet.com. So at goodfeet.com, you can book an appointment at your nearest location. There's 200 plus locations over the United States and overseas. Also, they've been doing this for 30 plus years. So they have a lot of experience helping people out. Why do your feet have anything to do with the rest of your lower body joints? Well, it's easy. Your feet are the foundations. You need to support your arches, and the arch supports from the Good Feet store can do that for you. They've done it for me. So if you have ankle pain, foot pain, knee pain, hip pain, or back pain, this is the direction you need to go. You get off the anti-inflammatories. Don't book that next appointment with the surgeon or go in for that MRI until you try this. You got to go to the Good Feet store. The only thing that you're going to be changing is the fact that every morning when you put on your footwear, you're just going to include these arch supports, and you're going to see if you're anything like me, you're going to see the pain melt away. That's what I experienced. My knee pain is virtually gone. The back pain has slowed down to where I have only good days these days. And I was even experiencing some hip pain, and that's virtually disappeared as well. So again, if you struggle with lower body joint pain, go to goodfeet.com. That's goodfeet.com.
This update is presented by Discover. It is hour 2 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Starting off with the Padres. They dropped to the Cardinals last night, 6-2. Matt Waldron struggling in his first start with the team. Rotation flipping over today, so Yu Darvish will be on the bump for the Pods tonight in their matchup with the Cardinals. Sticking with Major League Baseball, Ronel Blanco throwing 2024's first no-hitter yesterday in the Astros' 10-0 win over the Blue Jays. The 30-year-old was making his 8th career start. And he and his wife, TD, just welcomed their daughter into the world just 7 days ago. Sports can be special
It's
sometimes.
incredible.
As humans, we like having options. One option you might like is speaking with a real person when you call about your credit card with 24/7 live US-based customer service. From Discover, everyone can talk to a real person anytime. No robots here, day or night. Limitations do apply. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Yes. Yes. Happy Tuesday to those who celebrate. Happy, I guess, 7th game of the Padres baseball season. That's where we're at now. We got many, many more to go, folks. But if you enjoyed that game last night, you're a Cardinals fan, because there wasn't much to celebrate if you were or are a Padres fan. I'm curious out there. Is there anybody who's given up on the Padres? Like, last night was it. Like, they were just like, you know what? Screw this. I'm done. If that was the last straw, text us 70470. Start your message with team. Or most importantly, go to the free iHeartRadio app. Use the talkback feature. It's a little microphone button next to the play button. If you're listening to our station right now, you can leave us a voicemail. Please kindly do that. We'll play it on air if it's airable. But yeah, that's the interesting thing about the Padres is they continue to frustrate fans in San Diego to the point where it could be any given night where I'd assume you'd reach somebody's boiling point where they're like, you know what, this isn't good for my blood pressure. And my doctors told me many times over, I need to stop doing things that get me overly excited. And so today's the day I quit them for good.
Yeah, I mean, I hope no one's there yet, but I understand the blood pressure issue. I mean, because I think we're all feeling it. It's the roller coaster we said we wouldn't get on, and we inevitably get on, which it's so tough when you see your offense light up on a Sunday night. We come on the air on a Monday and talk about all the positives that the Padres have, all the good things that this offense is doing, all the encouragement that we see, the differences from last season to this season. This could work out well. All of the polish that we're putting on this thing, and then Monday night is a dud, where the offense just has nothing. The pitching is bad. The pitching isn't great. The pitching hasn't been great all season, and they've won some of these games because, unlike last season, they've been able to put together some 4-run innings, some 5-run innings. So they're putting some runs up on the board. But I mean, even the games that they've won, I mean, maybe they lost that game 9-6.
They did, but they were able to put up the 5 runs late.
Right.
And so that was like kind of the point of positivity, because that was one of those innings that we just didn't get last year out of this Padres team. But you look at what's happened so far this season. Now, Darvish has been great in his 2 starts that he's had. He's looked really good. He's looked unhittable at times. You hope that stays going all season long and that he remains healthy all season long. Remember, he finished last year not with the team because he was hurt. And then Joe Musgrove has looked really shaky. So the 2 guys at the top of your rotation that you're really relying on to provide multiple big 7-8 inning games throughout this season and really eat up innings, well, one's been great, one's been just okay, and really has struggled to get out of the first 4 innings. So you look at this Padres rotation, and they just need to be good enough this year, because if the offense is putting up runs, then they'll be able to get through the regular season, and then you have to wait for the postseason for the pitching to be great and the pitching to be healthy. But they have the 3 guys to do it. So I'm just so curious to see how this regular season goes, because right now I know it's 7 games in, but they have a losing record. And you can't afford to do that as we get down the stretch if you want to be a playoff team. Where are they in the NL West? Are they still 4th?
Yeah.
I know it's 7 games in and it doesn't matter, but at a certain point it will matter. And we played it's still early game way too long last year. I refuse to do it this year.
I mean, 7 games though.
We said that last year. They all matter.
They do in the end if you're operating with the slimmest of margins like the Padres clearly were at the end of the season. They do matter in the end. And I'm not saying that any game should be thrown away. Clearly, we were all offended by how Juan Soto admitted last season that the Padres clubhouse collectively and he individually will just give up on games. Like, it's offensive as a fan if you're going to participate the only way you can by buying tickets and watching these games at home, when you hear that a team isn't taking these games, any of the 162 seriously. I get that, but any one game isn't going to make a season. What makes a season is the is the compilation of numbers that, or the evidence, I guess you should call it, that each game provides in mass. So like I told you last season, like I've told you for years, Fletch, like I take these seasons in chunks. So I'm not going to overreact to anything I see in 7 games, but if I see this consistently through 20 games, man, yeah, then you'll get a rise out of me. Then all of a sudden, if the rotation still hasn't been to the 6th inning very many times, you're going to get me. The only pitcher who's recorded an out so far this season in the 6th inning is Joe Musgrove. You know, I'm talking about in terms of a starting pitcher. Obviously, other bullpen arms have. You know, otherwise we would still be in game 1 in Seoul, South Korea. We would be I guess it would be like day 12 of that series, but I digress. My point is, you know, so there are alarming trends that are starting to emerge, but you're not going to see me get alarmed about them until we see about 13 more games.
Yeah, I mean that's a good way to look at it here. If you're looking for a trend, a chunk of 20 games, because if you were to compare the baseball season to the NFL season, so there's 17 games in the NFL. I mean, so what is that? 162. So just over 9.5 games would equate to 1 week in the NFL. So if you were worried about your NFL team, a 1 week loss, you go, okay, so now they fix some things, they bounce back. Over a 2 week period, if you see some alarming trends, well, that starts to paint the picture of what you think the season is going to pan out as. And that's where we're at here. We're about we're not even 1 week into the NFL season here with baseball.
Still panic.
It's like halftime.
And we did this last year. How many times do we have to be stabbed in the back to not start panicking early?
At 2, Padre.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how many times.
At least once more. You want to just put the knife in now? Get it over with early?
Oh man, you are really down. You are really down.
That's why I'm asking the question, because Fletch has lost his mind.
Well, no, Rich, you know why I've lost my mind? Because last year you said this stupid chunks argument. And last year you said, well, statistically, this is impossible for them to keep this up. I talked to Dan Zimborski. He told me. I'm like, yeah, fine. The nerds will say what the nerds will say. The numbers will say what the numbers will say. What I'm seeing happen on the field is BS.
How could you say that about Dan Zimborski? He's been like
I love
brother
Dan.
to you.
I love Dan. I do. But he lied. And so did you.
Well, I don't know if he lied. I mean, that is actually statistically correct. Mathematically, that shouldn't have worked out last year.
But it did.
Well, the Padres were like, F you, math, and somehow made it happen. It was a pretty incredible meltdown of last season, and I think that's why we're so worried about it now, 7 games in, going, good Lord, we're 3-4. I mean, what a difference it would feel if you were 4-3 right now against a St. Louis team
who sucks.
They're
the
not
Cardinals
good.
are bad.
That's correct. That is correct, and that's where you get these hangups.
We're getting reaction on the text line, and I mean, I get it. Like, we're bouncing back and forth. So are people on the text line. Like this one, we got, hey, today's a bounce back day. Another one says Padres are still a good team. This is this game was a one-off. You know, I mean, we're getting loaded up on the text line. Many of them from the texter from the 913. Is that Jeremy? He's back on the text line and he's hammering them in today. But yeah, many of our texters agree that it's too early to call this one anything. Like, you know, we're 7 games into the season. They're 3-4. You know, so they're 1 game below 500. It's no time to lose your head. However, I will say in your defense, Fletch, the fact that you're upset, it means that you watched last season. It means that you cared about what you saw last season. And there's many Padres fans who, I mean, I guess to use a term that's probably antiquated these days, but Padres fans are a little hand shy. Like, it kind of feels like, you know, every time the newspaper gets lifted off of the table, it's like, oh gosh, like what's happening next? Like, you don't feel good about where you are in baseball anytime you're behind the 8 ball with the Padres, because they haven't showed very much resilience. What I got for you is a 6-2 loss by the hands of the St. Louis Cardinals that Benjamin Fletcher is freaking out over. Cardinals took it to the Padres. Padres skipper Mike Schilt, first outing against his old team. Obviously, he wished the results were different, but Jackson Merrill went yard for the first time in his major league career. Tatis Jr. hit one as well. Those were the only two scores on the board for the Pods, who get started tonight at 6:40. First pitch time at Petco Park. Moving on to the NFL, we've got two pieces of news. One transaction and one potential transaction. Free agent quarterback Carson Wentz has agreed to a one-year deal with the Kansas City Chiefs. That was confirmed by sources yesterday. Also, the Dallas Cowboys and Zeke Elliott, they've been dancing around a reunion maybe. The free agent running back and the Cowboys apparently, per sources, have mutual interests, so we might see a meeting there. And then also, how about this? For the second year in a row, Caitlin Clark had another legendary performance in the Elite Eight. They knocked off the 3 seed LSU last night. 1 seed Iowa Hawkeyes advanced to the Final Four, where they'll take on UConn. It was a 94-87 thrashing of the Tigers. Clark had 41 points, 12 assists, 7 bounds. So the Iowa Hawkeyes still alive in the tournament on the Woodman side. And of course, we have the men's tournament coming up this weekend again, as the Final Four will play out to the championship round. How about NC State? Still live, still dancing in the Final Four.
Love DJ Burns. We were talking about that yesterday, and I was talking about like his bigger than life personality matching up with his bigger than life game. And I am a hardcore NC State fan the rest of the way. Like Zach Edey can eat it. Get ready for some DJ Burns action, bro. Because, dude, it's just the fun of March Madness isn't there without DJ Burns this year. It feels a little bit like San Diego State last year, where the whole country starts pulling for him, or after they beat Alabama, you know, that started happening last year. Like, I get the same feeling with NC State right now. No matter who plays UConn, they're going to get their asses kicked in the championship game. I just hope that NC State makes it past Purdue.
Wow, that's a negative take that no team could take on UConn.
There's not a team in college basketball right now that I would say could beat UConn.
I would agree.
Or get close.
I mean, it's unbelievable how good that team is, how well-rounded that team is, how hard that team plays. And if we're comparing them to the Padres, where one of our complaints last year was Juan Soto said, hey, they just give up out there. UConn does not give up. UConn never lets up on the throttle, and you can tell as they walk away from their opponents.
Well, we have this sample size now of 2 years in March Madness, where the first half, they try to figure you out. Like, that's all they're doing. Is Dan Hurley is kind of the coach of UConn, is sort of just feeling out the game and how you're going to play. And then the second half, they open up with these huge runs, most recently a 30-0 run against Illinois, where it's just, okay, time to put the baby to bed. In the second half, you just have no chance.
By the way, Fletch, I have to tell you, you were 100% right. And I wanted to make sure before I said this that I removed all the home cooking, that I wasn't just being a San Diego State fan, and that's the reason why I felt this way. But Dan Hurley, head coach of the UConn Huskies basketball team, is one of the most annoying human beings on the planet.
Thank you.
As the UConn Huskies continue to advance and his profile gains more limelight and he's becoming more famous and becoming more of a household name in college basketball, I'm realizing as I listen to his interview, he is a tireless self-promoter. Like, this is the type of guy who would just be like, man, I'm just born for this. I wake up in the morning and I say my affirmations in the mirror for 45 minutes and then I go out there and I'm just a winning machine. So
did you hear him on with Colin yesterday?
Oh, dude, he drives me crazy.
Like, a good for Colin of getting that guest. Like, and it was a good interview, but the entire time I was just like, my God, are you trying to be worse than Mark Few? Because that's what it feels like. He's trying to be like more intolerable than Mark Few with Gonzaga.
Yeah. He's intolerable is the correct word. It's like it's beyond the correct word. He's tough.
Also, not for air, but Richie, do me a favor and look at your phone. Travis Dale just sent us a text message, and it's one of those texts that I look at Travis and I'll be like, we're doing the same. Like, we're at work right now doing the same thing. How is this what's going through your head? Like, I'm pretty sure you could go to jail for sending me that.
I don't think so. I don't think I can. It's not like that's not jail worthy.
I will say this, confirmed though, Travis.
Thank you.
TD, there is something to be said about that. And you know what? And none of it will be said over the air.
That's right. We'll put it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, how did you even find that?
Well, I'm like, sometimes things pop up, and I'm like, oh,
we don't.
I should go down that rabbit hole.
You should probably work for TMZ.
Our Instagram Explore pages, I can promise you, look very different from each other. I can promise you. All right, so check this out. Coming up in a little bit, we have that Islands gift card we're promising, also the Social D tickets. So be listening for ways to win those. Very excited to give those away this morning. And also, we have our best bracket ever analysis on the other side. Really excited to get to that as well. But first, quick morning monologue from me. As we talk about baseball in the city of San Diego, and we're all excited for the prospects of a better season than last year in 2023 for the Padres, I have to tell you, the buzz nationally, and this is obviously smallish in terms of the sample size on the start of the baseball season, it's pretty low. So I've spent the last 24 hours in a different city and on airplanes and talking to people from a lot of different places because I'm a blabbermouth and I can't help myself. And nobody wants to talk baseball. Like, you hear people talking in Dallas, where I am right now, about the Cowboys. I mean, the Rangers just won the dang World Series. I haven't heard anybody really express any interest early this season about them. In fact, if you go back and look at the viewership ratings on the Texas Rangers win over the Diamondbacks, this was the lowest rated World Series ever. 9.1 million viewers over the 5 games is all they netted. That's it.
Yeah, that's not great. Not great.
No.
NFL regular season week 3 between the Jags and the Browns would kick the crap out of that.
Yeah, like a Thursday night football game between the Jaguars and the Browns will get on Amazon Prime Video like 17, probably not that many, but maybe like 12 to 15 million people watching. You're talking about the World Series cumulatively over 5 games only getting 9.1. It's crazy, man. Like, I'm excited about the start of the baseball season. I know that I'm watching closely. This Padres team has my attention, but nationally, man, the interest has plummeted in this sport. There's no question about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because the baseball season, the regular season, kind of feels like vacation almost. It's vacation time. I get it. We're heading into the summertime, but it's this feeling of like, well, I can watch casually until it really starts to matter. Who's up next? Me? Oh, I'm up next? Okay.
I can go.
I mean, no. I'm
going to repeat mine from yesterday because Rich didn't hear it, and he has to know that I'm mad at him too.
Oh, my God.
Wait, what did I do?
Wait, what the heck?
So last Friday, I was down at the Naughty Barrel with the Darren Smith Show and with John and Jim. I was engineering their broadcast, jumping on air for some segments. And something happened 3 separate times from people I had never met before in my life. 3 separate times, people came up to me congratulating me and Kendall on the birth of our upcoming child.
I don't feel like it's the problem.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's a beautiful
the only
thing.
problem is she's not pregnant.
Well, we don't know
and
that.
She hasn't been pregnant.
Well, we don't know that.
Yeah, how do we? Well, actually, you don't even necessarily know either, because pregnancy is one of those things where, there's a gestation period.
We
don't even know when exactly, maybe we're like a month away from saying our congratulations.
Here's the deal. I promise you guys, when we are pregnant, and that is in the plans for, I don't know, like 2 years from now, we'll let you know. It won't be a surprise. Okay. So if you guys just keep guessing, you're not going to be right.
Well, I feel like we're getting pretty close.
But at this point, it's like Kendall's sick of the joke. So maybe.
Maybe she's sick of not having a baby, huh?
Yeah.
And by the way, like, Kendall's dad has texted us before and be like, is there something you guys need to tell me?
Yeah, there is. And we want to say it right now. Congratulations.
Like, Darren Smith legitimately thought we had a baby on the way.
Well, Darren Smith, that's I mean, he's a dirty rascal if he thought that.
Like, he came up to me and said, man, it really sucks that you're going through all this ankle stuff with a little one on the way. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, I thought Rich and Travis were talking about you having a baby like the day after you broke your ankle. And I was like, what?
now I'm thinking, wait, did you break your ankle in bed? I mean, is it that
Gosh.
wild?
When you said you slipped on an acorn, is that like a position?
Yeah.
Or is it like what are we
Wait,
doing?
hold on. You
what?
slipped on the acorn. There's something to that. Now
Tell you right now.
it makes sense.
By the way, I've stopped telling people that an acorn was involved at all and just started saying loose gravel because you guys have made the acorn like the reason, and
Well,
it's not the reason.
That's really the lead. I mean, that's where we go first with the acorn.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know why you're angry about it. I mean, the heart wants what it wants. Love is love, and love is a beautiful thing. And congratulations on, I mean, what, about 8 months
on
now?
your future,
Yeah.
on your future child,
Exactly.
on your future child, however distant future that is.
Even if that distance is 8 months away.
Years.
Well,
Plural.
that seems
8
seems
years.
wrong.
Lord.
Well,
You're going to be a geriatric pregnancy. Coach. I mean, how old
right.
will you be at that point?
Right.
I mean, yeah.
You just turned.
Because there was confusion over which side of the equation actually delivers the child earlier. I'm glad we cleared that up, which is good.
my morning monologue, I don't know if we need to write to Congress. I don't know if we need to get someone, above us involved in some manner. But look, when you go to a restaurant, right, you sit down, they bring your food out. If they bring you you got steak and risotto, if they bring the steak out,
What was that word?
the risotto,
Yeah, come again? What's that?
risotto. I don't know if I've ever had it, to be quite honest.
Oh, it's
But-
delicious. You gotta have it.
Call it risotto before.
Risotto.
Anyways, tonic cover. So when
It's,
you,
it's an Italian thing.
it's an Italian thing, risotto. They don't bring your steak out and then later on bring out your risotto, right? That doesn't happen. If it does happen, you're angry about it. Fast food restaurants. When I roll up through the drive-through, okay, and I don't know, part of my order's not ready because I said I don't want pickles, or maybe I got that breakfast sandwich and I added cheese to it, so that's going to throw off everything. I mean, they can't figure out how to put that together, but they tell me, hey, can you go ahead and park over in stall number 1 while we bring your food out? But then they hand me a bag of fries. I don't want the bag of fries. I want it all hot at the same time. So come on, don't hand me part of the meal if the whole meal's not done. Let's just get it all together so it's nice and piping hot while I'm sitting over in stall number 1 patiently, and you bring it out to me. So if there's something that has to be enacted to make this go down, let's go ahead and jump on that.
You're
All right,
slowly
coming up
devolving into Larry David with these monologues. Like, that is a very Larry David take.
I don't mean to. I don't mean to do that. But I'm just letting you know.
I just don't want the fries.
Well, I don't want the fries. I don't want the fries
I want
by
the fries. I
themselves.
just don't want them right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I do want the fries, but I want the fries while I'm eating my burger. You know what I'm saying?
I actually kind of agree with you.
Thank
and I'm going
you.
to be honest. I appreciate a hot meal, and like, you ever been to somebody's house and they serve the entree, but it's like an hour after they gave you asparagus spears.
Yeah.
Last night we all sat down and we had dinner together. Everything hit the table hot. I couldn't have been more appreciative. I also realized how difficult that is. I don't know how difficult it is in fast food. I digress. Look, the point is, I'm live from Dallas this morning. TD, he's in his studio, our home studio in San Diego. Fletch, he's in the production studio. He's a day away from surgery. So let's load up the text line. Let's wish him good luck. 70470. Start your message with team, and honestly, start your day with Fletch. Like, just thinking about him in general. But before we jump to the best bracket ever and we break down the Elite Eight and the performances that we're going to see in our very own bracket, Fletch, I got to tell you something. Even through the cameras, I mean, you are good. You are slim. You are thin. You are trim.
Finger gun.
Powerful man.
So first of all, go to sdfatloss.com while I lay this story out for you guys. That's sdfatloss.com. There's a free consultation. They'll lay out a roadmap for you to drop a ton of weight over the next 2 months. But let me tell you a story about something that happened literally yesterday. Yesterday, I had my pre-surgery consultation with the surgeon and the anesthesiologist. And in the long list of questions, like, does anyone have heart disease, blah, 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 everything, one of the questions was, have you recently undergone a tremendous amount of weight loss? And I said, why, doc? Yes, I have. And they were like, crap, we need to redo your anesthesia then. And so, but they also said, thank God you did, because the break could have been so much worse had I been 40 pounds heavier. And getting around the house would have been so much worse had I been 40 pounds heavier. So if you want to be a little healthier here in 2024, and if you're planning on breaking your ankle anytime soon, you want to be 40 pounds lighter. So get on over to sdfatloss.com today. All jokes aside, this really did change all of our lives for the better. I look back at pictures still from that Mexico vacation I took last year with Kendall. I'm like, golly, did Jabba the Hutt take the place of me for a year? Because I was 278 pounds. Yeah. And Princess Leia was not around, by the way. It was just me being fat.
Sitting around sad and lonely, gooey.
Yeah, just fat and slippery and sweaty. And
So
gross.
sweaty. But if you SDFatLoss.com will help you out a lot. 40 pounds in 2 months is a reasonable thing with SDFatLoss.com. That's exactly what happened to us. So get on over there today. Get your free consultation. Set up that roadmap for the next 2 months of your life. SDFatLoss.com. Coming up next, best bracket ever. Let's do it.
The San Diego Giving Back Raffle is a great way to give back to an important community resource while gaining a chance to win 1,000, or I should say one of thousands of prizes. Hey, it's Rich here. You could support our Ronald McDonald House, and you could win a multi-million-dollar historic home right across the street from magnificent Balboa Park in San Diego. Give back, and you can gain even more. It's a true win-win for you, your family, and for our organization and all the families that Ronald McDonald House serves. Our San Diego Ronald McDonald House helps keep families close to their hospitalized child. So it's located just 300 steps away from our local children's hospital. They provide overnight lodging, warm meals, and other programs and services to support families during a time of medical crisis. I've volunteered at Ronald McDonald Houses all throughout my NFL career. I love what they do and how they impact all these special communities, people who are flying in from different states, who are driving in from different places across California and getting their kids the help that they need at a local hospital. You forget about the siblings oftentimes. You forget about the parents who need to work while their kid undergoes cancer treatments or advanced care from one of our great doctors here in San Diego. The Ronald McDonald House helps all those people. The raffle fundraisers help throughout the years build our San Diego home. In return, the Ronald McDonald House has awarded more than $30 million in prizes to participants just for choosing to give back. Tickets start at $150. Again, the San Diego Giving Back Raffle is coming up. Get involved and help support Ronald McDonald House.
This update is presented by Staples Stores. We will start off here with the Padres, who fall yesterday to the Cardinals 6-2. Matt Waldron struggled in his first start with the Pods. Rotation flipping over, so Yu Darvish gets on the mound today for the Padres. And another matchup with St. Louis. Sticking with Major League Baseball, Ronel Blanco throws 2024's first no-hitter yesterday in the Astros 10-0 win over the Blue Jays. The 30-year-old making his 8th career start, gets a no-no in that. Staples Print Big Sale means the more you print, the more you save. Get $20 off your print purchase of 100 or more, 50 off your print purchase of 200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of 300 or more. Offer ends 4/6. See staples.com/print for details. Print more, save more at Staples.
Woo! Rolling through a Tuesday. Big Rich, TD and Fletch. Still got a couple giveaways. We're going to do Social D tickets. It's coming up here shortly. They're going to be with Bad Religion on April 12th out at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Tickets and info, Ticketmaster.com. Also, $50 gift card to Islands. Islands has a vast menu of items, a family-friendly, beachy vibe atmosphere with delicious food and drinks. Islands has the happiest happy hour starting weekdays at 3, the cheesiest cheddar fries, and the coldest beer in town. Visit Islands Fine Burgers and Drinks. Just keep listening for your chance to win those. Been a big deal here on Big Rich, TD and Fletch. Well, a big deal for the world, really. The best bracket ever.
That's right.
It is. I'll say this is round 2, 2024 version, best bracket ever. Last year, it swept the nation, and Sex wins best bracket ever. Sex goes into the record books. Now we are down to the final 4.
Are we? I thought we were at the Elite 8.
Well, that's
we still need our Elite 8 analysis.
Analysis,
Benjamin
yes.
Fletcher.
Right.
Yeah. So he's going to break this down for us as the board is set, and we whittle the field down to 4. In fact, we were discussing this at Break TD. He is actually going to give us his final 4 analysis. High coming back from surgery.
Oh yes, yeah.
So,
got it. Yeah.
So we're going to sneak this in. We're going to sneak this in on this side of the surgery. And when we whittle the field to just 4, he's obviously going to do his best to guide us through the process. So now listen, Fletch, it takes him a little while to get around these
He's
days.
wheeling
So
over. Hang on, I
literally-
gotta talk for 1 sec. I gotta help him move a stool so we can get the best bracket ever board over. Hang on.
Yeah,
Don't fall.
He's scooting. TD, he's jumped out of his chair. Yeah, Fletch is trying to move the furniture on his own as he ambles his way in. So for those who are catching up on the fly, here's what the Elite Eight looks like. On the west side of the bracket, we have chicken wings taking on sundresses. On the other side of that, the combatants are House to Yourself taking on barbecue wings, or excuse me, barbecue smell. So just the smell that wafts through the neighborhood that you get, it's like, oh my God, is that ribs? Like that smell going up against House to Yourself. That's the west side of the bracket. Now on the east side of the bracket, we have a 6-seed 3-day weekend taking on a 2-seed Perfect Steak. And then, of course, Unexpected Nudity going against Freebie. So we have it. We've gotten to our last 8 contenders in the best bracket ever. I don't know how this is going to shake out. I don't know what America is going to say about this. And the final results will be tallied here in just moments. But first, I think we have to turn it over to our fearless Fletch with a fuller analysis and to give us updates on exactly how he sees this field unfolding.
Rich, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, that's good.
So far, it's working. All
right, we are in the Elite Eight of the Best Bracket Ever 2024, and some interesting matchups coming out of the first round. First of all, 8-1 upset. House to Yourself moving on into the Elite Eight. House to Yourself, when you really think about it, should have been a 1 seed all along, and Ice Chest Beers probably should have been the 8 seed. In the second matchup, we have Barbecue Smell versus Slurpee. Barbecue Smell making its way into the Elite Eight. This gets into a very tricky matchup because what happens when you have the House to Yourself? TD, I ask you.
Oh, when I have the house to myself?
Do you barbecue?
I barbecue.
Do you Traeger?
Heck yeah, I fire that bad boy up.
The smells are there, man. All right, in the next matchup, we have Wings moving on after their contest with the home run back crack. Also, Sundresses, who everyone remembers from last year, that dirty little Cinderella. Sundresses and Wings going up against each other. You got Crispy Wings, and I think you're hoping for a crispy win when someone's wearing a sundress on the eastern side of the bracket. You heard me.
That is
on the east.
That's so dirty.
Unexpected Nudity trouncing Alone in the Car Fart, and they will take on Freebies. You know, when you're at the bar and the bartender says, hey, boys, you've been here all night. This one's on me. Unexpected Nudity, though. Hey-o.
Whoa.
It's coming for coming for it all this year as the 1 seed, properly ranked, I would say. And then the final Elite Eight matchup, 3-day weekend, a 6 seed, taking on the 2 seed Perfectly Cooked Steak. There are people on Twitter saying that a perfectly cooked steak doesn't exist. Baloney. Perfectly Cooked Steak is real, and it's here to stay. Perfectly Cooked Steak, 3-day weekend. Again, stuff that can be going on at the same time.
Yeah, look, 3-day weekend, I think, came in on a very low seed. A Perfectly Cooked Steak, to say it can't happen, that's hogwash. Bulgur Dash.
Bulgur Dash?
Yeah.
I don't know if I said that right.
Boulder Dash?
Skedaddlery.
What does that word mean?
We'll just make up words on the fly. Tomfoolerins.
All right,
this
so
is just
voting for this for the Elite Eight is live on Twitter right now at Big Rich TD Fletch. Tomorrow, the Final Four analysis will be coming from you live from my post-op center, from the gurney.
Wow.
From the gurney where I will be injected with over 20 drugs. I will be laying there drooling out of my mouth while telling you why Sundresses is going to be the national champion.
20 drugs?
At least.
What?
Maybe 25.
Did they break that down for you?
You know what? Post-surgery drugs might need to be on next year's bracket.
Actually, yeah. Coming from a guy who's had many orthopedic surgeries, there's nothing like the sheer bliss that you feel when you're waking up from having, I don't know, legs sewn back on. All right, so Fletch is making his way back to the production studio. TD is helping him out. You heard it there. A great analysis done by our fearless Fletch, our Steve Kornacki of the best bracket ever. He's just as disheveled. He's equally energetic. And I really feel strongly that this year's best bracket ever is going to end with a Final Four that's gonna yield close results. Like we've seen a lot of
Mhm.
blowouts leading our way into the Elite Eight. I feel like it gets tighter from here on out, guys.
Yeah,
it does.
it does feel that way. However, some contenders that were on last year's best bracket ever making a strong run already in the 2024
Well,
BBE.
it was like the Sister Jean or the LMU, stuff that people fell in love with a year ago is making the stronger push this year after they got a little bit of funding into their program.
I was honestly like, what? Where's Sister Jean?
What's that?
On the
Chicago Marymount?
Loyola Chicago.
Loyola Chicago.
Yeah. Sister Jean, who, by the way, is still alive.
Isn't she like 106?
I think she's 118 years old. I don't understand. I mean, she is fueled by Christ. That's all we know about Sister Jean.
Christ in basketball, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. When
all
you
you
mix
need.
the two,
That's all you need.
get a lot of March Madness. It's
That's right.
great.
That's right. Well, there it is. There's the breakdown. Nicely done, Ben Fletcher.
Yeah. Wow.
Shockingly mobile on your little
dude,
scooter.
Yeah, Richie, you don't know this yet, man, but on Easter Sunday, I ate crap big time off the scooter,
Mhm.
like full face plant into a puddle. It was bad news. And then this morning, coming out of the bathroom, once again, flat on my face.
Wow, really?
Big falls.
Wow.
You see, this goes in the opposite direction of what we were talking about. We were so impressed with how well you were getting around.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, you just
I don't know what's happening. I mean, I honestly don't know. It's a miracle.
I will
I'm
say
like,
this. Get all the falls in now on this side of the surgery
because they're gonna fix
in
it
fact,
anyways.
I'm gonna say I maybe fall again on purpose just so you get the third one out of the way. Like normally these come in threes. Like you just do it, just a prat fall somewhere so that you don't have a real fall after the surgery. Honestly, do a whole lot of lying down this week.
Yeah, the next 5 days of my life, the majority of which will be on the couch, is going to be Fast and Furious movies, Lord of the Rings marathon, and potentially rewatching Breaking Bad.
Wow. I mean, that's
I'm a little bit jealous. We're going to be here grinding away in this salt mine. I don't know how we're going to survive, TD.
Lofty but obtainable goals by Fletch.
I can make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to make it happen either, especially on Friday when it's a bar card Friday. Brought to you by Keg and Bottle.
That's right. 10 locations around San Diego. And by the way, kegandbottle.com delivers. So even though I'm far away in Dallas, I'm going to have all of the ingredients delivered to the house I'm staying at, and I'm going to be mixing up the same drinks that TD is drinking in studio on a bar car Friday.
We haven't really figured out the logistics of this on Friday, because if Fletch is not here, we don't have anyone to run the board.
By the way, it's no longer an if.
You're not going to be here.
No, I talked to the doc yesterday. In fact, he said Monday and Tuesday of next week are ifs.
Okay.
But he is encouraging you to drink obscene amounts of mezcal, so maybe you should call in also.
That's also a great idea.
I'll call in. I got most of the ingredients at the house anyways.
Well, we just gotta make sure we get you the right base ingredient. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
Are
you talking about freebasing?
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm talking about.
Right?
Yeah. Black. Are we talking about black tar heroin?
That's what. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Wait,
you.
what?
By the way, it's going to focus. Yeah, this show. That's going to be the focus of the 8:00 hour this morning. We forgot to tell you, Fletch. We're running an illegal drug dealing ring. Anyways, look, there's a lot to get to. And speaking of lofty goals, we got to get to this story of a gentleman who's going pro, but not the way you think he is. Get to that on the other side. But first, I want to talk to everybody about the testosterone that's coursing through my system right now in abundance. And it's all thanks to my friend, Dr. Roy David over at Golden Triangle Plastic Surgery, the Man Zone. Okay, so everybody's been asking about the Man Zone. In fact, I had a relative who lives in the San Diego region. He left a voicemail yesterday. I got to get back to him today. And if you're listening, I will, because he's been hearing me talk about the Man Zone, and he's asking and he's curious about testosterone treatment. He's a man in his 50s, and he went and he wants to get tested. He's been going to the gym recently, and he realizes the results at the gym aren't what he was expecting. He's getting a personal trainer. He's getting back into shape. He's lifting weights. He's doing the cardio thing, and it just hasn't been going in the direction he wants. And so he's curious about if there's reasons other than, just health and diet and things that can be attributing to this. And the answer is yes. The answer is yes, because every single year that you're alive, if you're a man, your testosterone is decreasing, basically from the age 30 on. But it can happen earlier than that. In fact, I mean, there's been sites where, certain people, as soon as puberty is over, that's it. That's the height of it. And they just started losing their testosterone. They never really get to experience what it feels like to be optimized from that standpoint. Now, me, after a professional football career, I didn't expect to be a candidate for testosterone treatment therapy. But after talking to one of my other former teammates who was getting TRT, I said to him, like, well, here's how I feel. I was like, I go to the gym and I feel awful. I don't want to work out anymore. I feel like I'm in brain fog. I was like, but those can't be signs of testosterone. It's probably just, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just getting older. And he goes, nope. He was like, I'm telling you, get tested. This is exactly how I felt. And at 37 years old, I was a candidate for testosterone replacement therapy. And I've been doing it for months now, and I feel great. So if you're a man in your 40s, your 50s, or your 60s, it's time to get up off the couch and do something about that sluggish feeling that you're feeling, about the fact that you don't feel like getting to the gym. You got to get to the Man Zone, or check them out at themanzone.com. Book your first appointment today. Tell them I sent you. And trust me, the staff over there with Dr. Roy David is awesome. You can trust him. He's a double board certified plastic surgeon, but he cares about men's health. And again, you're going to get all of that help over at the Man Zone, but start your search at themanzone.com. This is Rich, and if you're looking for a world-class dentist where every single procedure is done in the same office with state-of-the-art technology, then I've got your guy. It's Dr. Jordan Colby. He's out at Ocean View Dental, and he can give you teeth in a day plus a winning smile. So what does that mean? Well, if you go over to oceanviewdental.net, you can see his work. He has these incredible before and after pictures. They're at his website, oceanviewdental.net, also on his Instagram account, where he shows you the work he's done. He's taken some of the most, and I'm being generous here, and I promise you these people would be okay with me saying this, but some of the worst cases, and he's turned them into beautiful smiles. Like people who are lacking confidence, who, they don't want to go out, they don't want to smile, they don't want to attend events. And on the other side of meeting with Dr. Jordan Colby and his staff at Ocean View Dental, they have a beautiful smile that they can be confident with. Look, I was experiencing this too. I was missing some teeth. I had cracked a bunch of molars playing during my NFL career, and I got cavities. Those cavities got infected. I had these teeth removed, and I needed implants to be put in. I needed 3 implants to be put in so I could actually chew my food. And Dr. Jordan Colby, he took care of this in 3 months, less than 3 months. I was back on the microphone after my day of surgery the very next day. I didn't miss any time from work. I never felt any pain. It's just incredible. This guy, his motto is, no matter your situation, I can help you create a confident and healthy smile. And he's 100% correct. They have all the latest advanced dental technology, digital x-rays, 3D CT imaging, dental lasers, Invisalign veneers, and more. You just got to check them out at oceanviewdental.net. So if you're shopping for a new family dentist, you have a major dental work, and you don't know who to turn to, go to the same place. That's oceanviewdental.net, oceanviewdental.net.
Our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Awards was a historic night of music, and you can stream the whole event right now on Hulu.
Absolutely love it. Okay, coming up next, we're going to be getting back into the Padres. The start to their season hasn't gone the way that we all would have hoped. They're 3-4. Obviously, there was a lot of motion returning from Korea and the Peter Seidler memorable opener, the home opener there at Petco Park with a heart in the outfield. So we'll see where the season goes. But we're getting a lot of reaction on the text line, getting people's thoughts on all that. But before we run here and we get back to the Padres, I do want to talk to everybody about the shrinking waistlines around this show. I'm very
Damn,
proud.
Rich is hot.
No, I wasn't going to focus on myself.
It's you, bro.
Since you mentioned it, I mean, it really does feel good to all of a sudden fit into my clothing. Yeah, for many months, I would try to squeeze into a size medium T-shirt, and I'd be bursting at the seams. I look like a sausage in a casing.
There's actually a new phrase out in Texas. It's everything's bigger in Texas, but rich.
Yeah. They changed the actual state motto. Yeah, they added that. That's look, is it embarrassing? Yeah, but does it feel good that the people are talking about my weight loss? Yeah, sure. And that weight loss started at sdfatloss.com, where you too could lose a tremendous amount of weight. Look, we're joking around, but honestly, TD has lost over 30 pounds. I've lost over 35. Fletch, he's leading the charge. He's down over 45 pounds and counting. It's pretty insane how fast
Shirt's
it happens.
up again.
Yeah,
shirt.
There
Golly.
goes. Fletch just flashed the camera. It's really good.
Getting a lot of nipple time here before surgery.
That's right. SDFatLoss.com is where you need to meet up, link up with Wayne and Chloe. That'll be your weight loss team. Yeah, listen, it's the natural way, right? So a lot of people, they get on these strange medications and they lose a ton of weight. They gain it all back. That's the wrong way to do it. It's called yo-yo dieting. It could be really detrimental to your health. You don't want to do it. We've thrown away all of our yo-yos. In fact, TD tried to smuggle one in the other day. We literally we hit him over the head with it. We said no more yo-yos, and he was agreeable in the end. Look, the point is, we want to get you help. We want you guys to feel like we do. We feel much better being down all this weight. So again, check out the website sdfatloss.com. That's sdfatloss.com.
It's hour 3 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Starting off with the Pods. They dropped one to the Cardinals last night, 6-2. Matt Waldron struggling in his first start with the Padres. Rotation flipping over. Yu Darvish going to be on the mound tonight as it's game 2. Game 2 with St. Louis. Sticking with Major League Baseball, Ronel Blanco throwing 2024's first no-hitter yesterday in the Astros' 10-0 win over the Blue Jays. The 30-year-old was making his 8th career start, and it's a no-no. How special is that? Heavy rain can lead to sewer line issues. Get ahead with Anderson's Drain Specialist. Nobody wows clients like they do, serving over 500,000 residential clients for more than 45 years. Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. That's AndersonPHA.com.
Yeah. Happy Tuesday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you on a magnificent Tuesday morning. Look, if you are watching the Padres this season and you are riding the roller coaster, I promise you it's not going to do you any good. I say hit the pause button, relax for a second. I think, TD, you put it perfectly in the second hour of this broadcast this morning when you said, if you look at this the same way you'd look at an NFL season, you wouldn't be losing your mind if your favorite team was losing at halftime by 3 points, right?
Right.
Like, that's what we're looking at here. Like, it hasn't gone perfectly. Padres haven't looked great every step of the way, but they're 3-4. You know, this is like going in at halftime and you're down a little bit, and it's game 1 of an NFL season. It's fine.
They are 2 games back of the Dodgers. It's time to burn it all down.
And then there's that. There's that voice that just creeps back into the conversation, and that's the voice of Fletch.
Well, someone's got to do it.
Out.
You guys are just okay with this.
I'm more upset looking over at the New York Yankees and Juan Soto being baseball god.
By the way, Yankees have not lost a game yet.
Yeah, they're going 162-0.
And guess who their best player is?
Yeah, I know. Former Padre. Juan
Soto.
Soto. Hey, check this out. U.S. pronunciation of risotto is risotto. The UK pronunciation risotto, like Gordon Ramsay.
What do they know about Italian food? Nothing.
Like, this is the worst. Like, they also call it, instead of aluminum foil, they call it aluminium.
Yeah, that's
foil.
a dumb name. That's dumb. I
They
don't
also
like that
call
one.
like the trunk of the car the boot.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And no one knows what you're talking about
Yeah.
either. In the first hour, TD called risotto, and now he's trying to defend himself, even though he's clearly a maniac.
It does look
What
like
do you
I'd
also-
want to eat
What
it.
do you also? Did you drop a deuce in the loo this morning?
What do they call the elevator? The lift?
The lift.
Yeah,
Listen,
the lift.
Wait, is like rice a roti risotto? Is it the same? It looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
All right, I've had that. I'm in.
Okay.
You have not had
right.
real risotto. I'm gonna have Mama
a sec.
Fletch make you a pot of risotto. It'll change your life.
Oh,
It's
know
just
what?
rice
We-
with so much butter.
Okay.
We have a couple of chefs now who want to come back in studio and cook for us. And I wonder if one of them knows how to make a delicious risotto, or as TD and the rest of England calls it, risotto.
Risotto.
Because that, I mean, morning risotto, dude, if there's one thing that it's a grain, it's just like cereal. It's just got a little bit more butter and chicken stock in it. That's the
Yeah.
only difference.
Yeah.
I'll tell
That's
you, like
fine.
the only time I love mushrooms is when you have a dish that has like a New York steak with some risotto on the side and some mushrooms that are like mixed into the risotto.
Dude.
Oh, perfection.
Sauteed mushrooms on a steak are pretty good.
So good,
Yeah.
especially if there's some blue cheese crumbles around.
But what about mushrooms on a pizza?
Yeah, usually I'm out.
God,
Except for Costco's old like Supreme pizza that had everything you could possibly imagine on it. That was good.
mushrooms, pepperoni, black olive is a pretty good combo for me.
Yeah. Dude, that sounds good to me. Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure that, like, if you would have said any 2-topping combination for pizza, I would have been like, oh my God, you're a genius. Yes.
Dude,
Wow.
I don't know if you guys have ever had cashews on a pizza. It'll change your life.
Okay. So this is like the third time you brought this up on this show. And
Love
we've
it.
told you many times, you stop this. Now that's madness.
I gotta-
don't even understand.
I gotta find
how
a
that
place.
accidentally happens.
No.
I will say jalapeno and pineapple on a pizza is top notch. And Rich,
Yeah.
I think you brought that up a couple years ago. I just
It's
had it for the
incredible.
first time like a couple weeks ago, and it was top notch.
Yeah, you get the sweet, you get the spicy. Obviously, pizza with the cheese is already salty, and then you get a little bit of the tang and the sour and the tartness from the brightness from the tomato sauce. It's great. But this conversation about putting cashew nuts onto a damn pizza, like I don't know what restaurant Travis goes to that. I mean, like, did they accidentally have cashews and they were like, yeah,
I don't know.
just throw them on.
I don't know.
This one's for the Dale household.
I don't know. I have no idea. But look, cashews, like if you get the Italian pizza, but then throw cashews on it, holy smokes.
But this is
Yeah.
also the issue with TD, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I promise. It's a good thing.
Yeah. You can tell by the way you say issue.
But it's like we were on this track with Padres stuff, and then all of a sudden risotto comes up again, or risotto, or whatever, and it's out of nowhere, and now we're on a 5-minute conversation about pizzas.
I know. I wanted to talk to you guys about the percentage of Matt Waldron knuckleballs we saw last night, and now I am feverishly defending my favorite style of pizza.
Well, here's why the Padres topic was important, because we have a talk back from Joe Moon talking about the Padres and talking about the argument we got into where Rich is saying that the first part of the season, it's no big deal what the Padres have done so far. TD's kind of right in the middle where he sometimes thinks it's a big deal that they're losing. Sometimes he's like, no, we just got to wait. It's an NFL game. It's only the first quarter.
Well, I'm trying to be more level-headed than I was yesterday.
I'm ready to say there's some serious issues with this Padres team, and the fact that they don't have enough starting pitching is probably chief among them. Here's what Joe Moon thinks about the early starts of the Padres season.
To his point, we're a little bit, yes, that is exactly what we're the slump buster. We are.
Oh no!
Yeah, hang on. Like a lot of these teams, they're going to schedule. This is how it works. Like if an NL Central or an East Coast team is heading out to Southern California, most of the times they're going to play the Dodgers and the Padres back to back. And when they do that, it's going to be a little bit of like, oh my gosh, did you see all that? It's like Kershaw's healthy again, and Mookie Betts, my God, like he's a baseball god.
By the way,
and
he is on fire to start the year.
Oh, dude.
Mookie Betts is
playing
ridiculous.
Like
Come on.
And then they're going to come down to San Diego and be like, wait a second, is that Farrell Merrill in the outfield? Is that what we're
He's
seeing?
only 20 years old.
Guys, it is early.
It's a
That's all I'm
problem.
saying. It's early. There's no problems yet. And I don't see any problems in even the near future, especially when we're joined by a very special man. We make way every Tuesday.
Pause.
Now. Wait, why?
TD to halftime.
Oh, okay.
We're going to do that first.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, just that. Padres got down early yesterday against the Cardinals. Padres starting pitcher Matt Waldron gave up 3 in the first, then he gave up a 4th in the second, but then Jackson Farrell Merrill hit his first Major League Baseball home run. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. Nando hit another solo home run in the 6th, but the Padres do lose 2-6. They fall 3 to an abysmal 4 on the season. My God. Astros pitcher Ronel Blanco throws his first no-hitter, throws the first no-hitter of the season, and his first no-hitter with just 8 career starts. So some would say
that's
peak
the
too
name
early.
you get right.
I got that right?
Yeah, you
How
nailed
about
it.
that? Look at that.
Yeah.
Anyways, he likes risotto. In the NFL, Dallas Cowboys and free agent running back Ezekiel Elliott have mutual interest in a reunion, and the Chiefs have added a new backup QB, Carson Wentz. Super Bowl winning quarterback Carson Wentz.
Well, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs got
he
a
was
lot
there.
better. A lot better, boys. In the NBA, Orlando, brother, where art thou? The Trailblazers, 104-103.
Clooney movie.
Yeah.
Those Coen Bros.
The Celtics I don't know what I wrote.
Confidence.
Oh,
Say
I
it with
got it.
confidence.
I don't know what I wrote here. The CelticsItmaster.com for tickets and info. Social D tickets. The Hornets 118-104. The Grizzlies dumped 2,000 pounds of human urine on the Pistons 110-108. Indiana
What
Kendrick the Nets
happening right now?
133-111. The Hawks red-tailed the Bulls 113-101. The Suns knee side up the Pelicans 124-111. Really got egg on their face. Couldn't scramble together a win. Cracked under the pressure. I'm let the score speak for itself, but they lost by just over a dozen. You ask, would they like a do-over? Easy. Yes.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, the reason why I love half times with TD is he's hard boiled. And you know what? That ain't no yoke.
Yes.
Really,
Yes.
underneath that hard shell, there is a springy, viscous albumin. Is that the word?
Also, hang on. TD, you say put.
What?
That was a perfect halftime. The Pistons was awesome.
Thank you.
Rich, you're taking a lap around that room.
Yes.
Wow. In the
Jesus,
meantime,
hang on.
wait, are you doing a room lap?
How's it going?
Hang on, I want to see what this looks like. Oh, wait, I opened photos. Not the right thing. Oh, yeah, that was
he's
a
going.
full room lap there.
Wow, he's not
Very
wearing any
nicely
pants.
done. Yeah, no
Oh.
pants, because you really only see them from the waist up.
I mean,
Okay.
that's what I
Yeah.
do.
Sorry.
Yeah.
For those watching on the stream, I am pantless.
Well, I guess it's time, friends. Scouring the globe to find the stories you didn't know you needed to know. From the Four Corners News Desk, I'm John Fink. We're going to start in Riverside County, California.
Hey, that's where I'm from.
Hey, all right.
How about that?
That's
Ribco.
why I chose it.
Thank you. Good.
Sure.
Good. Tell me it was from Hemet Community Hospital where I was born.
No, because we're talking about horses, unless they
Yeah, same
unless they're
place.
also
Same
part of the
place.
same place.
Same place.
Yeah, it's actually, they
Oh, this
raise
tracks.
the stable is right next to the hospital.
Nice.
What do we got here in
Well,
Ribco?
we've got firefighters and Riverside County Sheriff's Department airlifted a horse stuck in the Santa Ana River in the Eastvale area to safety. The distress call came from the 2700 block of Shadow Canyon Circle around 1:40 p.m. on Sunday. The sheriff's helicopter and Norco's animal rescue team conducted the rescue, completing it around 6:45 p.m. Crews initially searched for the rider, later confirming their safety. Both horses, separated from their riders on Saturday, were found with the help of social media.
Wow.
Now, no word which social media platform the horses were using, if it was long Facebook or the more controversial Chinese-owned social media platform Clip Clop. But they did have a stable connection, thank goodness.
Go! God,
I
it keeps
cannot
going.
believe. I can't. I mean, this will be the first time we've had a guest run a lap.
I knew I was cruising for that. I'm just testing the limits.
I liked it a lot. I felt like that
Thanks.
worked.
Thank you. Thank
But
you.
the horses Can you
are
imagine
safe.
if like we find out the horses, they're just on Truth Social?
Well,
The horses
Riverside
did have red
County,
hats on,
it's
so
very
yeah.
red.
Yeah, they
They
have
just
red
have
hats on.
really conservative values. That's all.
Second Amendment horses, it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
It's all good.
I can't imagine anything more terrifying than equines with guns.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Sharks with lasers?
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
Yeah.
just stay out of the water,
Yeah. Oh, that's true. But you have seen Sharknado.
This is true. I have seen two of them, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah.
Solid.
I regret that
Yeah.
choice. I regret that choice. Online sports betting company BetUS is looking for a wiener lover to travel to
Wait, why did you point at me?
30 MLB stadiums to scope out the biggest wieners in Major League Baseball.
I mean, I'd sign up for this.
The wiener
All right, so
connoisseur.
It's also a horse
Anything
story.
Yeah.
Does this have anything to do with Major League Baseball instituting see-through pants? Is that
That's yes. I mean, they're calling them a wiener connoisseur, so I bet they can kind of rate them. No, this is actually for real hot dogs. According to the job posting, as we all know, size does matter.
Odd. Wow.
You aren't paid very much though. You get a small package of compensation for all these wieners. The position pays $2,500 cash, a $500 gift card to the MLB shop, a year-long subscription to MLB.tv, and the company will also cover your travel expenses and tickets to the game. Strangely enough, they say in the job listing, no gag reflex needed.
You're not allowed to chew these hot dogs?
No, you got to just you got to eat them like a goose.
Yeah, Pinkster's earned a lap.
What's that? No, this is golden.
I'm banking them up.
How long do you have to hit 30 balls? I mean, 30 days, I guess.
I think they've got a schedule for you.
I mean, $2,500 over a month plus time is not a lot of money.
It's true.
So $2,500, $150 gift card, and they're going to stuff you with wieners at every ballpark in the United States. That's the plan.
That is the plan.
I mean, who are they going to attract for this?
Right.
It seems like a very narrow window of people.
Yeah,
especially with no gag reflex.
Where do you
I feel
sign
like
up?
Travis Dale would be the guy.
I mean, it would be funny, right?
You can work remote. If you were to go, that would be great content for the show.
Let's see. Hot dog. What is it called?
Wiener connoisseur.
Wiener connoisseur.
That's not the actual listing.
That is the actual official wiener connoisseur position is in the job posting.
When he does win the raffle and he gets named Wiener Connoisseur, we are printing business cards.
Yeah.
That will say Travis Dale Esquire Wiener Connoisseur. That's what you will go by.
I mean, I can't find where I sign up. Oh, how it works online by April 18th. I got time to, write my resume here on how many wieners I've enjoyed throughout my life.
Also, just why can't the ballparks just measure them and just send those figures in? Like, why does it have to be?
No. Because you want.
No, you're missing the point. There's so much we can do with this.
A big
slow motion video.
A big part of Wiener Connoisseur is mouthfeel.
Right.
When you eat it.
You're both taking a lap as soon as John Fink is done. What's next?
All right, coming up next. This did turn out to be an April Fool's hoax, but not too far off. 7-Eleven was advertising hot dog water shaped seltzer, flavored seltzer. Sorry,
we saw this. This was not real.
This was not real, but there is a degree of truth to it because they in the past have done in 2020. This is going to be your favorite pickle seltzer water. I heard you don't like pickles.
They're gross. It's weird.
Pickles are weird.
No.
So
hot dogs, yes.
Especially the reason why we know Travis does have a gag reflex is because we've seen him eat pickles.
Yeah.
Also the one chip challenge. Yeah.
We also use slow-mo video for that as well.
Yeah, that's hot.
Thanks. It was. I got a lot of likes.
Speaking of pizza, are you averse to a pickle and ranch pizza?
Oh, that would be disgusting. Like, how do you ruin a pizza?
I mean, it's an upstate New York tradition. No,
I'll stay.
I feel like I would
stay in lower state New York.
I feel like lower. That's where I was born and raised. No, pickle and ranch pizza actually sounds okay.
I find it's amazing. I've had it. There's a place around here that has it, and they put a little ring of that everything but the bagel seasoning right before the crust. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm out.
You're out?
I'm way out.
Well, they're saying 7-Eleven is saying that even though it's a fake product, if there's enough of a response, they might make it for real. So if we need to make a campaign,
I mean, couldn't we just make hot dog water ourselves?
Do you want to carbonate it after that?
Oh, we just use some club soda, right?
I guess that's probably a good idea. I just get, when you drink like overly carbonated water and it kind of foams up in your mouth. And then it's hot dog flavored.
Oh,
just spilling through the corners of your jowls.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot of hot dog talk this week on Four Corners.
Well, let's go around to the other end then.
Okay.
In a scandal that rocks the chess world.
Did you say you're going to reach around?
I mean, you're not too far off. In a scandal that hit the chess world in 2022, it's now having...
Wait, did you say chest?
Chess.
Oh.
Chess, like the game.
Okay.
There was a scandal in 2022. It now has far-reaching consequences all the way to this day and age. A man, let's see, what's his name? Carlson, Neiman and Carlson. They were against each other for a chess match. One of them quit, and the other one accused him of cheating because he was apparently using vibrating anal beads that were remote controlled.
I've heard of this.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
I actually heard this.
Are we allowed to say this?
So check this out. the same way they cheat in blackjack.
Yes.
By using like hidden vibrators, or the
Okay,
same
pause.
way.
We don't have any more delay. Do not say or repeat what John Fink said.
Okay,
Fair enough.
hidden,
Testing
hidden
the limits
vibrating devices. So remember when the Astros got busted during the whole video evidence thing?
Yep.
One of the things that they were accused of is like Altuve hiding like a hidden buzzer somewhere on his body.
That was on his
Somewhere.
chest.
Okay, yeah, on his chest. Well, it turns out in chess, the game in these tournaments, they're not hiding them on their body; they're hiding them in their body.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, now a company, WeVibe, is now offering, as part of the upcoming chess tournament, offering free devices for all competitors in the chess championship.
Wow.
Which just gives me the mental image of that old school football game that you had on the tabletop, where it's like, and all the different chairs are moving around. I think that'd be a great chess tournament, having everybody just buzz around.
Definitely. And if you're using the queen, it can go wherever she wants.
Okay. Travis Dale, John Fink, duo lap.
Wow. This is the first in show history.
Tandem. Let's go.
Here we go.
Are we going to hold hands?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Thank you
I
so
like it.
much. It was a good round of four corners.
My pleasure.
Okay, lap time.
All right.
Excellent. Yeah, it's the stories that we didn't know we needed to know.
Some of them
John
today
Fink.
we might not have needed to know at all.
Honestly, the last one about chess, though, I've read about that. It's quite a scandal, Fletch.
It's
we
actually
could take the deeper dive.
So if you watch
the other side.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the latest season, they actually have an episode dedicated to this scandal. And Frank, who's played by Danny DeVito, plays a chess genius, right? But he's not actually a chess genius because Dennis and Mac are in the van outside controlling everything. And at some point, Dennis and Mac get into a fist fight in the van, and they were punching each other. And while they were doing that, one of them sat on the remote controller. So Frank was constantly getting buzzed. And so Frank has this whole panic attack on the ground of the chess tournament, and it all goes to crap. Well, in the actual world of chess, this dude got caught. And what's more embarrassing, using this to cheat your way to the top, or getting caught and everyone knowing what's going on while you're playing chess?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I think if you're in the chess world and you're one of the monsters of the game and you're going against another equally talented competitor, if you are that dedicated that you're going to jam things inside of your body in order to win, I mean, I'll forfeit the title to you.
That's true.
You
That's
want
true.
it more than me. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Man, speaking of
the
monsters,
tandem lap, how did it go?
It was great. So John Fink's 7'7", so it took him 9 steps to do the lap.
Yeah.
He's got a lengthy stride. But I'm out of breath.
Electric football, by the way, which I want to bring back at some point. That sounds like a lot. Maybe we should have electric football tournaments in the office.
Dude.
That feels like the right idea for us.
We got to find an electric football game for sure.
We're going to do it.
You brought up
do it. They sell them.
It is a Taco Tuesday, so we got to get to the spiciest or mildest storylines coming up next. But you brought up monsters, and God, remember when they used to call me a monster here at the station? Like this guy, good God, man. I mean, so overweight, so lethargic.
That was about 6 months ago, right?
That was about 6 months ago. And SD Fat Loss came in and they said, hey, we can make you not a monster, like Jabba the Hutt that Fletch used to be. And so they did. They showed me the correct way to eat. They showed me the healthy way to lose weight. Not just me, us. They showed us the healthy way to lose weight and the healthy way to lose weight quickly. And then most importantly, keep that weight off. That is the goal here. You lose weight. You can lose weight on a fad diet. You can lose weight on one of those injection medication diets. But as soon as you stop whatever that is, you're going to gain it all right back. That is not healthy for you. First of all, whatever the injection they're giving you, probably not the healthiest for you. And then to lose weight and gain it back is really, really bad for you. And look, we're coming to the time of year where you're going to start wanting to put that swimsuit on, right? Head on down to the beach. Maybe it's bikini season. Maybe it's Speedo season like it is for Fletch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, either way.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dog. And you want to look good down at the beach, right, bro? You want to look dank. You want to look chiseled, bro, right? You want to make bank, bro, on your hard body, bro. Where you're going to get that with SD Fat Loss. You're going to get that. So go there right now. Schedule your free consultation, sdfatloss.com. I'm telling you, it works. You're going to feel a million times better. All joking aside, let them put together a perfect plan for you and honestly change your life. You will change your life and you're going to add years to it. So you're doing something for your family as well. Feel better, look better, all the things, sdfatloss.com.
Hey, it's Rich here for Ocean View Dental. I want you to get in touch with my doctor, my dentist, Dr. Jordan Colby over at Ocean View Dental. You can check out their website at oceanviewdental.net. Look, there's a lot of people who don't think about their dentist until they have to, right? You have your, twice a year or 4 times a year teeth cleaning appointments. You may find out you need to have a cavity done or root canal work, and all of a sudden, it's just front and center. You got a couple of different appointments at a couple of different offices. It usually puts you back a bunch of money and you're disappointed with the results many times and you're in pain. Well, I got good news for everybody out there who have had this experience. With Ocean View Dental, you have none of that. Dr. Jordan Colby is an unbelievable professional. I didn't think I'd ever like going to the dentist until I met Dr. Jordan Colby. He's a great family man. He offers that same attitude and vibe in his office. It feels like a big family over there at Ocean View Dental. Plus, while you're getting your teeth cleaned or getting your mouth worked on, you got the beautiful views of the Pacific Ocean all the while. I've had a lot of work done over the years, dental work, root canals, like I was talking about earlier. But recently I had some work that I was really nervous about. I needed to have some teeth extracted. I needed to have implants put in. I didn't know who to turn to. And I got to Dr. Jordan Colby on the recommendation from Kogo News's LaDonna Harvey. And I'm so glad she introduced me because it was one of the best decisions of my life. And I'm not saying that I don't take this with a grain of salt. This is a very important decision when you're going to have new teeth put in and who to do it with. went to Dr. Jordan Colby because everything happens in the same office. You're not referred out to a million different offices, and you have a bunch of different dentist appointments with a bunch of different new faces. It's all done in his office with the state-of-the-art technology that Ocean View Dental offers. So again, if you're looking for a new dentist, or if you just want a better experience at the dentist, you need to get in touch with Dr. Jordan Colby at oceanviewdental.net.
This update's presented by the Jibba Trail Real Estate Team. Starting off with the Padres, they lose to the Cardinals last night, 6-2. Yu Darvish on the mound tonight for Game 2 in that series. Sticking with Major League Baseball, Ronel Blanco throwing 2024's first no-hitter yesterday. Astros win 10-0 over the Jays. The 30-year-old making his 8th career start. Pretty cool there. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Buttrell has the buyers. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
Boom. That guy gets it. All right. And you know what? You can get as well as a $50 Islands gift card, because that's coming up here in the next 5 to 8 minutes.
Rich, you know what
Yes.
Big Boss Noreen did yesterday?
Ooh.
What happened?
So TD and I are in here doing the show, and she
Sure.
texts me and says, hey, after the show, can you and TD come by the office real quick? I have snacks.
I have snacks.
I immediately was like, hell yeah, dude, snacks. Yeah. Travis immediately said, it's a trap.
Yeah, I
it's
look
April
like
Fool's Day. We're going to get poisoned.
I look like the dude from Star Wars.
It's a trap. So we go over there.
General Akbar.
And Noreen has this like a little bit of a spread laid out with some of the stuff that she had in last week from her bake sale, right? And it all looked really tasty.
Mm-hmm.
And so those cookies, you know, those cookies she makes that are to die for, the peanut butter ones with the white frosting on the outside, those were there.
Yep.
Popped one of those in my mouth immediately. Right next to it looked like homemade cake pops. Only they weren't homemade cake pops. They were homemade meatball pops with icing on top.
Yeah. Let me tell you how much that messes with your head.
A lot.
Yeah, because you bite into it expecting cake pop, and actually the color of it almost looked cake pop because it was like a turkey meatball. So it had that cake pop look, but it tasted like Worcestershire sauce. I couldn't wrap my head around what I was even eating.
There's a part of me, to be honest, like, I mean, obviously being surprised by that, no bueno. But there's a part of me that wants to know now what meatballs and icing taste like, because I do love meatballs. You guys know that about me. I love meatballs. I'm always talking about meatballs.
Yeah, on a stick.
But also, on a stick especially. But icing, dude, you cannot. I mean, there's no such thing.
Here's
as
what I don't
icing.
think anybody thought about. Having a meatball just left out at room temperature, bacteria grows in a meatball.
Yeah, but it's encased in icing.
That doesn't matter.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
I'm sure
airtight.
it does.
Yeah, it's fine. It's like
Listen,
vacuum sealed.
if you're interested in getting tons of iced meatballs, Islands Restaurants is your beachy getaway here in San Diego. Just a little paradise just around the corner. No, I'm sure they do not sell those, but they do have the cheesiest of cheddar fries and a happy hour that starts from 3 o'clock to 6:30 weekdays. So get to an Islands. But if you just hang in there for about 5 more minutes, you'll find out how and where you're going to win an Islands gift card for $50. So just hang out with us because it is a Tuesday. And as we do on every Tuesday now, we got a Taco Tuesday for you. Okay, So what do we want to get to first and decide whether this storyline's the spiciest or the mildest of the day?
It's that straw again. I say we start out right here in San Diego. The Padres 3-4 on the season. Is this spicy or is this mild?
Spicy, and only because of one reason, because the pitching has not shown you enough yet. And we knew that there was going to be tweaks to the starting rotation, and I don't know when those tweaks are going to come, but I would imagine the 5 guys who have gone so far will not be the same 5 guys you will see in a few weeks here. There's going to be tweaks made to this.
Going spicy right out the gate.
This is mild. This is like an avocado salsa verde. This is like one of those, it's like, yeah, you can taste the heat. Maybe there's a little background heat, but yeah, I mean, the avocado puts out the fire. It's nothing. I mean, it's 7 games for crying out loud. This would be like freaking out if the 49ers were down 3-0, Fletch, at halftime of game 1.
I would do that too.
You're not worried, though. No, you're not. Well, maybe you would, but most people in their right minds wouldn't. This isn't a big deal. Not yet. Now, don't get me wrong. If this lasts, if the Padres continue on, this inconsistency, this trajectory they're on, then it'll give me reason to think it's a spicier headline.
Rich, if the Padres get 80 games in and they're 40 and 41, 39 and 40, wherever you want to pull this thing, is it spicy then? You're still sitting at Okay, I agree. You're still sitting at 500 halfway through the season. All of a sudden, you're going, wait a minute. But at the moment, 3-4, you're right. The only reason it still has the mild sauce there is because it's game 7. I mean, it's game 8 tonight. So they win tonight. They're back to 500. I just can't believe I'm making the exact same arguments as I was 162 times last season.
That's what I'm saying. You guys are doing the exact same thing we did last year. And how did last year end?
Doing the thing. Yeah. I don't know. Not well.
No,
all right,
terribly.
Let's get away from
Worst season in Major League Baseball history. That's not true.
Carson Wentz is a Kansas City Chief. Is this a spicy or a mild headline?
This is almost like I'm drinking a glass of milk. I mean, this isn't even, I don't even know. This is barely noteworthy other than the fact that Carson Wentz did such a great job with his resume that he put out online of, all the different teams he played for. But I mean, this is kind of a non-issue, right? Carson Wentz may get another Super Bowl ring because he doesn't have to play.
Yeah, this isn't even the mild Taco Bell sauce. This is whatever's less than that. It might be sour cream. I don't know. There's nothing to this. Carson Wentz, I kind of feel bad for him in a sense. Like, I feel like there was a way his career could have gone if he never tore his ACL in that moment, where he was riding off this insane confidence of having a legitimate MVP-style season, and then he tears his ACL, and Nick Foles leads the team to a Super Bowl. Nick Foles gets the history, and Carson Wentz, to that point, was a much better quarterback than Nick Foles. I'm curious what alternate universe would have been had Carson Wentz never gotten hurt. What would we be seeing today? Would we still be talking about him like a top 5 quarterback in this league?
It's possible. It's possible. Look, I mean, that knee injury was a turning point in his career. I mean, look at RG3 with the Washington Commanders all those years ago. Look, was he ever going to be a Patrick Mahomes? I don't think so, but could he have had a much better career? Same thing with Carson Wentz. I mean, was he ever going to be on the level of an elite quarterback? Probably not. But would he have had a much better career? The answer is yeah.
And he was elite. He was elite for 12, 13 games that year.
Yeah, he had an MVP season going at times. I'm going to say this is mild, though, for the same reasons that TD explained. I would say I would compare this to the aunt who comes in town from Pennsylvania who's like, I learned from one of my friends how to make tacos. And then she, instead of using salsa, uses ketchup. And she goes, ooh, spicy. Like, this is a very mild headline. I don't think there's much to see here. Mahomes is going to be the starter. and they just are looking for, I guess, quality depth at the position. All right, let's move on to another NFL headline. Decide if this one's spicy or mild. Zeke Elliott and the Cowboys, they're not Facebook official, but they are talking to each other again. What do we think? Is this a spicy or mild headline?
Now, this is a cold gazpacho.
Ooh, a risotto?
No, gazpacho, which is kind of like salsa but more soupy. This is nothing to me. Zeke's not good anymore, so I'm not sure what the Dallas Cowboys are going for other than to bring in a veteran into the room. But I think you could get more production than Zeke out of a 5th-round draft pick from this upcoming draft.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I consider this spicy either. This is kind of a. I mean, if Zeke went back to the Cowboys, you'd go, all right, cool. I mean, then that's it. I mean, I don't. You wouldn't be talking about it. You wouldn't be talking about what kind of a game changer it's going to be to have him out on the field. You wouldn't talk about how much better the Cowboys are to have him. He's just a piece to a puzzle that could work. So this is a mild take. This is a mild story.
I'm going to say it's mostly mild, but there's like maybe a little kick at the end. Like maybe there's like a tiny little salsa picante. There's something in the background where you're like, ooh, yeah, that got me a little bit. And here's the reason why. Because I think this is the final year for Dak in Dallas, unless he plays at a high level to the point where he's undeniable that they need to re-sign him. I think it's the last year for Mike McCarthy, unless they get a win or multiple wins in the playoffs. And I think Zeke was looked at as a leader in Dallas before he got too expensive and too old. And maybe they need some of that leadership back. I don't know how much it helps them. And like you said, Fletch, I think they're going to get more value out of a lower round draft pick, but maybe from a leadership standpoint alone, it'll help them out. All right. We got to give away this Islands gift card. We're going to do it this way. We're going to give it to caller number 5 at exactly at exactly 7:45.
Wrong again.
It's
8:45.
It's 10:45 where you're at. So we'll go 8:45 Pacific Daylight Time. That's what you want to do. You want to call in at 8:45 877-767.
We have bottom of the barrel on the other side. Before we run, I want to talk to everybody about the Man Zone at Golden Triangle Plastic Surgery. Dr. Roy David is the medical director at the Man Zone, and he's a double board certified plastic surgeon, but he specializes now in men's health. He's going to get you right, especially if you're in the camp where you're experiencing some sluggishness. Maybe you're experiencing, I don't know, just a lack of energy at the gym or brain fog, or you feel like you're just getting old. Like everybody knows that feeling once you reach a certain age. Like the joints feel a little creaky, you feel a little less energetic about life, and you just blame it on age. Well, don't blame it on age, because there's ways to optimize your health if you're a man. And the Man Zone is where you could optimize your health. You go and you get your testosterone levels checked. They find out where you're at, and they keep track of that. So you should go in annually anyways. Get your physical done at your doctor, but then stop by the Man Zone, speak to Dr. Roy David and his team, get tested, because what they found out with me was I was on the low average range of testosterone at 37 years old, and I didn't want to get any lower. So I started boosting my T levels back up, and I feel great now. All of that brain fog, all of that fatigue, all of that lack of enthusiasm about working out, that dissipated, and I feel great now. So if you're like me, or you're in your 40s, your 50s, or 60s, and you feel that low energy, I mean, maybe there's even issues in the bedroom. A lot of people don't want to talk about that, but that's an issue that a lot of men face as they get older. It's time to do something about it. Get to the Man Zone. Check them out at themanzone.com. That's themanzone.com. You could book your first appointment there. Tell them I sent you over there. They'll be glad to help you out with all of the issues that you need help with. That's themanzone.com.
Don't go anywhere. We got Social D tickets and Bottom of the Barrel coming up next.
Yeah. Feel that?
I feel it.
Yeah. So do we.
Down my plums.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Listen, this show has gone off the rails hours ago, so we'll wrap it up here at Bottom of the Barrel. Yeah. It's a busy day on Bottom of the Barrel. We have a lot of stories to select from. Also, we have those Social D tickets still to hand out, and we'll tell you how to win those in about 5 minutes. But TD, where do you want to get started?
You know, I think we start with Stephen Carlson. I guess he's from overseas, but he decided to get a very interesting tattoo. He's a Navy man and decided what would be great as a tattoo is to put a ruler on his finger. So it goes from the tip of his finger to the back of his hand. Now, smart if you want to measure things on the go. However, I mean, if it were me, instead of an inch, like I would call an inch, like I would just shrink it down to like 3/4. You know what I'm saying? That way, if I'm holding something, I'm measuring.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh,
I think I feel you.
That's definitely like a 6 or a 7-inch item. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So, like, if you were, like, for example, the Oscar Mayer wiener connoisseur for
Yeah.
Major League Baseball,
Yeah.
and you were tasked with measuring hot dogs at each and every American ballpark, all 30,
yeah.
you
I
would
could
want to
immediately
maybe
say, like, oh, that is 4.72 inches around. As I'm holding the hot dog.
it's a girthy dog. It's a girthy dog.
What are we doing?
I'm just
I don't
saying.
know.
I'm just pointing out the obvious here. That's all.
Hey, would you, if you had a hand tattoo, would you measure potentially a
Okay.
taco as
What-
well? Is that
No,
hang on? I'm just,
we're not
hang on,
doing
smooth
this. We're not
transition
doing
here.
this.
Whoa,
Well, you have
hang
to
on.
know
Smooth transition.
It's Taco Tuesday.
It's Taco Tuesday, and
Yeah.
fast food titans Taco Bell and Pizza Hut are going with the new artificial intelligence approach. That's
Dude.
all. That's all I was trying to get to.
Okay, and this is partly, maybe mostly, because the state of California, as of yesterday, if you are a fast food worker, your minimum wage is now $20 an hour. So fast
go.
food companies are going, well, we're going to have to cut some pay somewhere. how about the people who take the orders? We won't have them anymore. We'll have a computer do it. And apparently they're willing to invest $30 million to try to figure this out. Now, have you ever been to a restaurant where AI talks to you?
So no, not yet. I've been to restaurants where there's no longer anybody at the counter, where you walk in, you order on a screen, and then your order is placed out a window. And so the only human contact you have with anybody who works at the restaurant is if somebody is cleaning up after patrons, or at the window where you pick up your food. If you happen to like accidentally lock eyes with someone behind the glass, they go, "Hey," and you go, "Oh, hey, thanks," and then you walk out of there. That's as far as I've been.
I've been to a sushi place here in San Diego where a robot comes and delivers
No way.
part of your meal to you.
Wow, I haven't seen that
It's
either.
a little creepy, actually. I don't like it.
There's a Carl's Jr. up in Escondido that we went to, and there is AI that talks to you and takes your order. And I thought, well, it's just a recorded greeting. And then whatever I say, the people inside obviously are listening. And I went to the window and asked, and they're like, no, we don't hear it at all. It just shows up on the screen.
So the 2024 iHeartRadio Music Awards, it was last night, actually. You watched it on Fox. But if you missed it, you could stream it on Hulu. And on Hulu, you would see Katy Perry, who joins the bottom of the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And what'd she do, TD?
Well, she wore like a fishnet dress and then just her underwear underneath.
Thank you to Katy
Yeah.
Perry. That's
Thank
where
you,
the
Katy
thank
Perry.
yous start. The thank yous end with John Fink, our veteran newsman, who gave us the four corners. Very raunchy today, John Fink. He actually got dumped.
Yeah.
But thank you to Rich Ornberger, who's out in Dallas. The Big D is a little bit smaller with the Big Rich in it. Thank you, TD, for everything you do as well. I'll see you all Monday.
Yeah. Caller
Speaking of
number, social D. Caller number 5 at 857 877 767 4760. You're going to win those Social D tickets out at North Island Credit Union Amphitheater, April 12th. Special guest, Bad Religion. We're out of here. We'll see you guys
Love it.
tomorrow.